and the Real Talk Truth Show. What? Hope everybody's having a super Sunday. I'm gonna start the show off with a bucket bong hit. Oh yeah!
Watching the sun bake, thinking it looks fake. All of the skies outside are covered in goo.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Smoking a big dew.
Woo, woo, woo.
Watching the YouTube. Time to go in now, but what can he do? Stabley's going live again in Centerville. Searching for truth, taking some calls. Some people claim something wrong with his brain.
He's insane in the membrane.
We don't live on the ball. Chatting and ranting about the moon landing. Unity strikes and hate speech on YouTube.
Censored too.
But he's such a cutie when he shakes his booty. He says Neil deGrasse and Bill Nye take the loop.
Salt to cedar.
Stabley's live tonight, but not in Centralville.
Good to see you.
No one even knows that's now what it's called. All of his subs know he's not gay or insane, but they know he's got something for Paul. Stones and flip-flops, big man and his truth drops. Plenty of proof that our memories are good. Mandela affected, the facts are collected. It's a beautiful day now in this neighborhood. Stabley's streaming truth tonight in Centerville. Karen be on, caller watching the chat. Some people claim we've got nothing to gain, but we know
Hey, God's watching this flat earth.
it's still and it's
Welcome.
flat. The Panama Canal runs north to south now. Most people claim it was once east to west. It's not a magic mirror, but we can see clearer. 'Cause everyone here knows that we're the fucking best. Stabley's premiering videos tonight in Centerville. He might be at work or even in bed. Sometimes he claims
Good to see you, Three Fingers.
live on the main, but he don't. He gets Stableyed instead. Everyone, he gets Stableyed instead.
Yes, he often does. Oh yeah, we got one more song to play. Still only a handful of people in here too. We gotta play this. Sorry for the F-bombs in it, but other than that, this is a fabulous song.
When Mandela
And dude.
affected, oh no, where the
Paradox and Oxide.
Mandela affected, oh no. I said we going Mandela affected, oh no, where the dark go? Oh no. I said daydreaming,
They said I'm just a daydreamer dreaming with my head always motherfucking in the ceiling. But it seems that the shoes got that Texans. Y'all ain't really fucking seeing y'all affected. But now you got 6 holes in your fucking face, man. What is you been sleeping? No one is mistaken me for logically frustrated. Cause now I know that there's always been 6 people seated in the JFK assassination. But of course all the vets know vets go where it went. Logically frosty, he shouldn't be like this. Honestly, he should be cold as shit. Why does he need a scarf and what's the point of it? Be careful what you wish for in the matrix glitch. Where I'm fucking from, it wasn't like this. But at least it's nice to know I'm not alone in shifts.
when Mandela
Affected.
don't know where the dark goes. Mandela
Affected.
Oh no. I said we going Mandela affected. Oh no, where the dark goes. And we affected. Oh no. I said daydreaming.
These shifty bastards, your wrists are tethered as your pulses under your thumb no longer centered. Your shrinking factor, here and after. Not even talking that quick, it's just the time is moving faster. You're lost in the facts since reality's hack, bitch. Like summoning demons with these dancing tactics. Like Sam psychiatric, blending semantics. Losing your stars and stripes as the demons demanded. Running in circles, but to whose advantage? It's a sense from the creators while on Satan's sandwich. No longer get scared from Ricky Ricardo's laughter. In fact, I slap a bitch just to hear someone in the chatter. Like someone in a bar quoting it like it matters. Cause this isn't my home, it's a slain and disaster. How the fuck could this be? Someone tell me, yo, can't say.
Yes. Now there's a
Don't know where
there
the
is a
dark
dash
goes. Mandela
in Butthead.
affected. Oh no. I said we going Mandela affected. Oh no, where the dark goes. And we all affected.
Do you have the eyes to see through this medical tyranny? Do you live in fear because you don't have the ears to hear? I'm Tommy, tell the truth, and yes, I can show you the proof. So help me shout it out from the top of every roof. Little rhyme I wrote this morning. Oh dear. Alrighty then. Let me see what's going on. All right, now we got a little more than a dozen people in the chat. Let me stop screen share for a minute. Say hello, beautiful people. Beautiful, like-minded people. That's what it's all about. Because you can surround yourself with nothing but NPCs and see how that works out for you. Or you can check out from the land of the NPC and the home of the COVID slave and, see what you find. Some like-minded people. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lord. All right. So I see Dr. Evels in the house. Sins man, God's watching this flat earth. 3 fingers. And Salted Cedar. And see if anybody's on the other platforms. Not quite yet, I don't think. All right. Anyway, so if you didn't catch my update, show promo or update I put out a little while ago, I do plan to go live for the first time on Rockfin sometime next week. I don't know what day yet, but sometime next week will be my first live show on there. I have uploaded a few videos on there. The first one and the only one that's public is, of course, my Awakening interview with Brian Stavely that I did whenever that was. I don't know. It's been a while. But and then I have a few other premium videos on there. But I will be going live on Rockfin, and for the most part, I'll have those will be free shows. So if you want to follow me over there on Rockfin. All my links are everywhere pretty much. To find me where I'm at. Besides the boob tube, censor tube. All right, so let's see who else. Chicago artist, good to see you. Heather Phillips, welcome. Jeff Zanabar, welcome. There are so many people waking up to the Mandela effect. I think it's because people are starting to get back to their life, even with all the crazy stuff that comes along with the medical tyranny we're experiencing. There are people. See, like I predicted myself that the Mandela effect. Of course, I hate that name. We all do pretty much. The McMahon effect, would be a household name in 2020, but then CV happened, and people just got too busy to pay attention to it, whatever. But it is spreading like wildfire. I mean, it is incredible how many people are discovering it on YouTube and on podcasts from all these people that have podcasts and cover the Mandela effect, and those are getting better. There at first it was all the same cookie cutter copy and paste crap about the Mandela effect, but people are actually starting to look into it and starting to do their own research, and some people that have these shows, some content creators are starting to some of them are starting to help us, but of course we're always going to have some that are just dead set on putting hit pieces out on the effect and and on our memories too, of course. All right, I have a lot of video stuff to share with y'all today. It's all new, or relatively new, but mostly new. And I have a few articles too. So should be live for an hour or so. And another thing too. Now that I have a proper computer, proper mic, and proper internet, at some point I do want to get some software and get some knowledge on how to take phone calls so that I can, open lines and talk to you guys and get your opinions and let you share your wisdom on some of the subjects that I cover. And going forward, I'm definitely going to continue to cover the Mandela effect, flat Earth stuff, and and CV-19, and government tyranny, also separately or together with CV-19. But anyway, all right. So let's see. Just look at the chat here real quick. That's okay, Jeff. Not everybody likes my YouTube name, Tommy Tell the Truth. I used to be Stand Up, Speak Up on Twitter back when Twitter wasn't cool. I am at Tommy Logston or Tommy Tell the Truth also now, but I'm locked out of my account, so I can't tweet anyway. But but anyway, I guess I probably should have named my YouTube channel Stand Up, Speak Up, because it does fit me well. I love to stand up and speak up against tyranny of all kinds. All right. I do believe we'll go ahead and get started and see what we got for you today. This is a real quick video a guy made about Bragg's apple cider vinegar. And I know that Brian's talked about this one a lot. I don't know how many people are affected by it, but it's another grocery store one that I do remember it being Bragg's apple cider. It didn't sell as good as other products, but I've certainly ordered it in the past as Bragg's apple cider, not Bragg.
I just picked me up some Bragg's apple cider vinegar. Some good stuff. Bragg. Really? There used to be an S on here.
Hey, Freedom Grower, Long Reach 1. Glad to have you. So he clearly remembers Bragg's apple cider vinegar. I don't think I've ever shared this, but this came out a couple years ago or so. We'll check it out. Maybe I won't. Maybe they won't take it down. Probably will though.
Walter, where's the wife? At a birthday party. Whose? Hers. Shouldn't you be there? I already said no on the Evite. I want to watch the game. Oh, come on. How about YouTube and...
Maybe if I stop it for a second or two here and there, or talk over it, but I know y'all don't want me to talk over it. It's good stuff, great for heartburn. Yeah. Oh, I know it has some good uses. I just get past the taste of it.
epic fail compilations. What? You know, idiot stunts gone wrong, and it's always, my balls. That's entertainment to you. Yes. You know, I finally have a chance to watch a game in silence, and now you're going to ruin it. I'll shut up. Hey, I was just on the internet and discovered something I could not believe. CNN? No. Have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
What? The Mandela Effect?
No, I have not. And I don't need to know. It's the unexplained phenomenon where you remember something a certain way, but in fact, it never happened.
It never happened, but it did. 3 minutes to 4:20 somewhere. Are you ready? Dun 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 dun.
That would be Alzheimer's.
Ha 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 ha! He blamed it on Alzheimer's.
Oh, you worried you might get that? No, I'm worried Jeff might. Then we're all screwed. But the Mandela thing. People claim it's because of a parallel universe or that time travelers have altered things in the past. Okay, like in the Terminator, but without robots or explosions. Yes, but important stuff, like movie quotes and cartoon characters. Oh, someone please kill me. They call it the Mandela Effect because some people swear Nelson Mandela died in prison when in fact he did not. Mandela Effect.
Okay, well, I'm going to do a show. I've done shows on it before, but I don't understand why other people in the Mandela Effect community don't see why it's so important to make sure people know that the scientist, whatever you want to call her, but she claims to be a scientist, and you know, Starfire Tor, who was talking about this phenomenon in, you know, a long time ago with Art Bell on Coast to Coast AM. Okay. So she's one of the first people to ever talk about it. She blames Fiona Broom for hijacking it, you know, on her and whatnot. But Starfire Tor put it out there, the lie. She made it up, folks, that Mandela died in prison. Okay. She deliberately put it out there and pushed it on the world that Mandela died in prison. Nobody had ever had that memory before that. She polled thousands of people, and nobody ever said we remember Nelson Mandela dying. She came up with the whole damn thing and put it out there to do a science, investigation, and so she knew when she would talk to people later, which she re-polled people and everything later, that when they said they remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison, she knew that they had just latched on to the lie, the made-up story she put out there, folks, that, you know, that he had died. It's all garbage. She probably is part of some alphabet agency, you know, and trying to run a psyop on top of this supernatural effect that's going on, phenomenal. All right, Anyway, it's very important I think for people to know that. Just like they think it's so important for us to know that it's based on this bullshit story that Starfire came up with in the first place. Why do they have to over and over tell you something that's bullshit in the first place? I'm sorry I'm cussing, but it's just ridiculous, man. This is stupid. That's all they ever say is Nelson Mandela died.
Whatever. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Please don't. At the end of The Empire Strikes Back, what does Darth Vader say to Luke? Luke, I am your father.
And this one's stupid too. Because it's debunkable. It's just too, this one's just too flimsy.
No, he does not. He says, no, I am your father. Mandela Effect. Wait a minute, are you sure? Yes. Hey, in the game of Monopoly, does Mr. Pennybags, the banker, wear a monocle?
Yes, he does.
Of course he does. No, he does not wear a monocle. Mandela Effect.
I'm just going to read the chats real quick. I saw someone in another chat saying they had seen an effect right in front of them and a vortex of swirling colors, and everyone believed them. ME, multiple experiences or material entropy. Mandela effect that is missing with me is the Autoport store O'Reilly's in my past. And the jingle, yeah. How about the other auto parts store too that's been affected, jams out? Advanced Auto. I know it was Advanced Auto. Everybody knows it was, and now it's just Advanced Auto. That don't fly with me. That's just as big as O'Reilly's, in my opinion. All right, well, they haven't shut us down for me playing this yet, so I'll try to get through it.
Hey, so does this mean it's possible I thought I was married, but I'm not? No, you're still married.
Oh, man, that would be a good one for me because, unfortunately, probably less than... I don't even know. Shortly after I got married, I knew that it was a mistake, unfortunately. And I thought about, could I get it annulled? My marriage annulled. I'm still married. I'll be married legally 24 years in March. That's crazy. But I'll be a widow soon, apparently, because they gave my wife only a couple months to live. I haven't seen her in years. And I'm not even going to open that can of worms. But imagine that. I could handle that Mandela effect. Except I love my kids and grandkids.
Oh, shit. Hey, here's another one. Spell Oscar Mayer. Hold on, let me do that song. My the first name is O-S-C-A-R. My is the second M-E-Y-E-R.
Yes!
Mandela Effect, you just said M-E-Y-E.
No, this one I love because it definitely was not Oscar John Mayer hot dogs, Come on. Mayer, M-E-Y-E-R.
But in fact, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Tell me if I spell this right. F-U-C. Okay. Fine, I'll stop. Let's watch the game. Hey, what the hell? Something's changed about you. What? What are you talking about? The Mandela Effect. Is this world really what you think it is? Or is it something completely different? AJ!
I love it.
Stop being creepy! It's time for dinner! Sorry, Dad. Silence! I kill you!
Silence or kill you! Crazy man. That dude is nuts, but that was good. I liked it. I don't know how I never seen that before, because that was like I said, a few years old at least. That's old Jeff Dunham. All right. I want to show you some of this. I sent it to Brian, but I don't think he watched it because this guy's hard to even look at. Okay. We're going to watch this video, and then we're going to watch a video that he did on the Mandela Effect. Yeah. But this creep here, this chump. Woo, let's see. And I'm going to try and fast forward it a little bit. Let's see where we're at.
Oh, well, what kind of fuel is it? Well, how come the video has fake-looking edits during the landing? And I don't want to hear about how there are a bunch of other videos of uninterrupted takes showing an entire flight or an official Guinness World Records-breaking flight in front of a huge crowd, when even a ufologist claims that the whole thing is an elaborate hoax. You know it's gotta be fake.
Debunked. What else you got?
Okay, look at this scary guy. If you've got to dress up like this to put on a show, whew, my goodness. All right, I'm going to give y'all 3 chances, probably just one, but all right. How many followers do you think this guy has? Put in the chat, how many followers do you think this chump idiot could possibly have? Just go ahead. Put in the chat your guess. How many followers does this guy we're going to watch have? I'll give you a minute.
Talk to me, Facebook.
Let's see. When you get a chance, you know not right away, may you debunk this? I sure may, Zachary.
All right. I'm going to still go up a little bit because it's not where... All right.
You're a proper skeptic. You know you...
You're a proper skeptic. Okay, yeah, let me back it up. This is it. All right, yeah. He throws the phone down. Okay, now he has a considerable amount of followers. So all y'all are completely wrong. Go ahead and guess again, and higher than the highest one that you've put out there.
But I don't have to tell you that. You're a proper skeptic. You know you can't trust anything you see on the internet or hear on the news anymore, period. End of thought process.
What's more likely? That flimsy explanations about exposure ratios, movement in a vacuum, or how Hollywood movie props aren't labeled with letters prove that we actually...
He has over 2 million followers. I mean, subscribers, I'm sorry. This video right here has over 4 million views.
we went to the frickin' moon like some sci-fi fairy tale? Or that maybe it was filmed on a soundstage as part of a global conspiracy by the all-powerful and extremely well-funded government organization NASA.
Come on. Humans getting into spaceships and risking their lives to prove that the Earth, our home, is just another rock in an endless void of rocks and dust? I'm not ready to accept that yet. I'm not ready to accept that Paul McCartney isn't a lookalike who was secretly enlisted into the Beatles after the real Paul died in a car crash in 1966. Look it up. The evidence is everywhere. And I'm not ready to accept that a group of deeply misguided individuals could put about as much effort as it takes to create one of my videos into destroying 2 of the tallest buildings in the most iconic city in the Western Hemisphere and killing 3,000 people. Those people must have been actors. They didn't die. The whole thing is a carefully orchestrated hoax by powerful people more capable than any of us.
Okay, he doesn't believe that, but that's like a shot out at Brian Stavely there. He's like talking to Brian. That was kind of creepy when I heard that. No deaths, actors, hoax.
They do it all the time. When a natural disaster, a bombing or a shooting causes innocent people to die, it's probably not real. And someone, even if they didn't have our best interest in mind, was in control. Because if no one was in control, that would be terrifying. Enough! It is terrifying, but the terror wears off. And if you're willing to endure feeling disillusioned for a while, you get to see the world through new eyes. A world where rationality and critical thinking lead to empathy and social growth.
Don't tell me about social growth.
Who are you?
I'm Zeitgeist, the spirit of the age. And they're with me.
It's getting creepy now.
If you're so popular, what's with the chameleon routine?
The Zeitgeist tends to change.
Well, I tend to kick the ass of anyone who kidnaps me and messes with the minds of my viewers. So let's settle this.
Not tonight, honey. I have a headache.
Creepy.
Listen to me. The power to tell real from fake doesn't come from being a world expert or mistrusting every single thing you see. It comes from an honest willingness to change your opinions and beliefs based on new facts. So learn to enjoy being wrong. The world might start making more sense. You won't feel quite as out of step with the rest of humanity. Your words won't cause needless pain to people who suffered real tragedies. And the words of others won't sway you into believing myths over truth. You'll be able to love with your heart, but use your head for everything else.
Holy cow! Dude is freaking nuts. All right, are you ready for this? This, and look how he spells the Mandela Effect. MandellaH, and then EFFEKT. So it's like he didn't want anybody to find this from our community.
Greetings, children. It's me, Captain Disillusion, and
I'm Holly, where this is and always has been my thing.
I'm here to warn you that the universe itself is an unreliable narrator.
Consider the mysterious phenomenon known as the Mandela Effect, when people inexplicably share identical memories of things that never...
That's not how they... See how they spell it in the title? Mandela Effect. See right here? That's how they spelled it. Of course, you know, not in the show part, but that's how they titled their show.
Never happened.
Remember the Genie movie starring a black guy who isn't Shaquille O'Neal and the movie is not called Kazam?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't exist.
What?
Mandela Effect.
Hey, you know how the Kit Kat logo is spelled with a dash?
Of course, that's one of the main things that I know.
Wrong. There was never a dash.
Ah!
Mandela Effect. The term comes from the fact that many, many, many white people clearly recall the South African revolutionary Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 80s. And
What did she say? White people, give me a break.
as a free man in 2013.
Examples are too numerous and consistent to be dismissed as simple misremembering of basic facts, and no one is immune.
Have you ever quoted Hannibal Lecter saying, "Hello, Clarice," in Silence of the Lambs? I'm sorry, he never actually said that. Check the film.
Do you picture C-3PO as all gold? I'm afraid his right leg has always been silver, except when they forgot about it in the prequels and made up a backstory later.
It appears you've been affected.
But don't panic. The unthinkable hasn't happened. You are not wrong. It's just that the entire universe around you is the wrong universe.
At some point, you slipped out of a time stream where things are the way you remember, and into this one, where things are different in tiny ways that don't impact history but make you just a little bit special.
Whoa,
Either that or it's
whoa. Don't impact history. My butt. They do impact history. You know, hence Black Tom's life matters, you know, and others.
corporate cover-up, like when they retroactively changed the Berenstain Bears to the Berenstain Bears to make them sound less Jewish. I mean, come on, who has the name Berenstain? The authors of the books? Whatever.
Or how my eyes have been
Oh, but if you're a researcher like me, instead of a copy-paste content creator like them, you do your homework and you find out that Stan Berenstain, if you want to call him, his dad's name or his grandfather, both of them, is Harry Berenstain. Yes, Berenstain, not Stain. So there is plenty of proof. And let's hold up. We're on the Berenstain thing. Mike Berenstain now, the son of Jan and Stan, says that every time you've ever read, saw a book or cartoon named Berenstain Bears, that it was just a stolen knockoff. Man, how sick is that? I mean, come on, man. So all these libraries that had Berenstain Bears books were just, they were all knockoff books. Imagine that.
Retroactively changed to green in all previous Captain D videos to make me look more Irish.
The reality of the Mandela Effect cannot be denied. It has an official website.
Countless blog articles.
And a support group of sorts on the most welcoming platform on the internet, Reddit. They don't do that for just anything.
You're not alone. I'm with you.
And as one sufferer to another, I make a humble request.
That you please.
Just stop it.
Enough
Just
with this
stop
crap already.
This
Seriously.
is dumb. The Mandela Effect is not a medically recognized psychological phenomenon. It's from a blog started by a self-described paranormal consultant, Fiona Broom, a name which fits nicely among Disney Afternoon's janitor-based villains like Winifred from Chippendale's Rescue Rangers and Ammonia Pine from Darkwing Duck. Her main gig is writing tips on ghost hunting for beginners, but in 2010, she stumbled on a new marketing opportunity.
She proposed a catchy name and a sexy paranormal hypothesis for an effect that has a much simpler explanation.
Which is that we're not special, and our brains all fail at memory in the same predictable ways. We reconstruct memories each time we recall them, and we're prone to adopting the recollections of others.
Anybody want to smack that makeup off his face yet?
As our own.
Think of the thousands of unrelated commenters misspelling your as your under this video.
Or millennials quoting classic movie lines they've only heard in SNL parodies, which they only saw because it was trending in their feed. To them, life is like a box of chocolates, and Luke, I am your father, and play it again, Sam, are all things that characters said.
It doesn't take an alternate universe or a global conspiracy to accept that all these people arrived at the same incorrect notions independently.
But when you Google the fascinatingly mysterious Mandela Effect, 14 out of the 20 examples in the BuzzFeed article that comes up as the top hit are all about tiny spelling errors and movie misquotes.
Fruit Loops was always written with 2 O's. Time to argue about the nature of reality in this comment thread.
Man, mockers and scoffers.
The other examples are all about similar visual minutiae, whether cartoon characters had monocles or tails or spots on their tails. I want to throw a refrigerator through a window.
And of course there are the obligatory Shazam starring Sinbad and Nelson Mandela's death date examples that are totally not racist. And people also remember Rodney King dying in 1993.
And this is where Fiona Broom, and anyone else who promotes a metaphysical explanation of the effect roll their eyes.
You don't understand at all. We're not saying we're definitely right, or that people don't make mistakes, or that things didn't happen the way.
She's wearing makeup. I just realized that that's makeup on her too. I thought it was a shirt at first, but I mean, they're the makeup clowns, aren't they?
History has recorded them, sweetie.
Makeup shit and makeup on their face and body. Yeah. The makeup clowns.
I just want you to be open to the possibility that something odd may or may not be going on. It's just interesting to think about.
Reacting to recent criticism in the media, Fiona wrote, "The Mandela Effect is quirky. It's weird. It's fun if you step away from the topic and look at it intellectually. This site has been based in, okay, what if alternate memories are mostly accurate? What if alternate realities exist and we can interact with them? Then what?"
Well, let's see. If Nelson Mandela died in prison during the 1980s, then I guess he never became the first black democratically elected president of South Africa. It's just interesting to think about.
If the Berenstain Bears were secretly renamed for marketing purposes, then their creators, Stan and Jan Berenstain, must have changed their name too. And maybe the Holocaust didn't happen in this time stream. Who's to say? It's just interesting to think about.
If Shazam starring Sinbad was the film everyone remembers, then the How Did This Get Made podcast never did an episode about Kazam starring Shaq, with TV writer Kate Cannon as a guest, causing her to fall down the stairs that day, having never completed the final draft of Pitch Perfect 3, leaving out a pivotal scene that inspires Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Bob Goodlatte, to believe in himself enough to greenlight presidential impeachment. It's just interesting to think about.
See, there's only one reality, one kind of facts, without alternatives. Being fascinated with a quirk of the mind is great, But if your explanation for it blows right past Occam's razor to inter-universe leakage, it's kind of a problem for the rest of us.
It encourages sloppy, uncritical thinking, which is never a good thing. Knowing how to distinguish what you think is real from what is real is the most important skill in the universe. I'm saying that, and
Well, they're doing such a good job of being real with their makeup, huh? Yeah.
I'm an actual goddess.
By the way, in Holly's time stream, Reddit has a different name. Instead of red, it's blue, and instead of it, it's me, because it's a forum for people who did that last night.
He's joking.
Oh my goodness.
He's actually very grateful, but a personality disorder prevents him from expressing genuine affection.
You wish, you
Yeah, he's got a
terrible
disorder, all
enemy
right.
whom I hate.
As for the term Mandela Effect, just keep in mind.
There's a troll in
When
the
you
chat.
popularize it, the only thing you accomplish is helping this woman use this website to sell this shirt. But
Now I'm afraid it's time for me to go, kids. An attorney in Memphis wants a recovered memory admitted as evidence in court. Remember, love with your heart, use your head for it. Not so fast, Ollie. Captain!
Man, what a freak. Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. We've seen it all now, huh? Oh, man. Oh, my goodness, dude. I'm just... Okay. Let's see what we got here.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Partially Cultured Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, and with me, as always, is my co-hosts, Alan and Isaac.
How's it going, guys?
Remember, guys, to go and check out our website, partiallycultured.com, and hit our social media links at the bottom. And
These guys eat well.
Some comments. Tell
Very
us what
well.
you guys want to hear. Things you've liked, things you haven't liked.
Thanks, Jams out.
Questions, whatever you guys want.
Thank you, Peter.
We read all those, so make sure and do that. Hit the buttons and the likes and the subscribes.
Now, these guys here, this show is called Deja Vu and the Mandela Effect. And I actually haven't heard any of their talk on the Mandela Effect. I watched a little bit on the Deja Vu stuff, which was interesting. But I want to try and find where they start talking about the Mandela Effect. So I might just skip around here a little bit and see.
And all the bullshit. So without further ado, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. Today we are going to talk about Deja Vu and possibly get into some Mandela Effect because they
Deja D's
have, kind of across of each other in some aspects, but we'll get into that. So everybody knows what deja vu is. It's French for already seen. It's when you experience something that you feel like you've seen before, but you don't remember seeing it before. So it's like being in some place that you've already been. So everybody knows what it is. I'm assuming everybody's experienced it, but from what my research is, not everybody experiences deja vu. So,
Yeah. And apparently, I didn't even know this, but there's a bunch of other variations on it that are not the exact same thing. But like, there's jamais vu, which is like never seen. So when you're in a familiar situation, but you don't recognize it, or déjà vécu, which is like already lived. So it's like you have this intense feeling of having already lived through something, but it's false. And there's like a presque vu, almost seen. So it's like an intense feeling of being on the very brink of a powerful epiphany. It's like having like a premonition almost or something. Deja rêve, and mind you, I'm not French, so I'm sure I'm butchering these. Already dreamed.
Sounds
So it's a feeling of have already dreamed something. And then there's deja entendu, which is already heard. So it's like when you hear something and you swear you've heard it before, or you've listened to something before.
Deja
Nintendo. And I've had some of those experiences in the past, but I didn't even realize there was a specific word for it. I kind of just chalked it up to deja vu, right?
Everybody kind of collectively puts it into that category, even if it's not that. Yeah, there's deja senti, which is already thought, and deja visite, which is already visited as well. Those are the common.
Yeah.
Well, I guess those are the more common ones, even though I've never heard of them either. But Deja vu was the only one that I really knew about.
I mean, I feel like, there's a lot of explanations that I've read up because we're doing some research on it, and like a lot of the explanations behind it are, you know, there are past memories that maybe our brain forgot, and then you get into a similar situation that's not exact, obviously, but maybe like you were into someone's house and there was two people and they sat a certain position and there was a certain color or something that kind of recalls in the back of your mind a lost memory, and because it's a memory that was lost, it transposes itself onto the memory or the experience that you're currently having, because it's similar enough to have like some kind of recall, and then you have that feeling. There's also like medical disorders, apparently, like epilepsy or frontal lobe kind of issues that cause like premonition or the feeling of premonition or deja vu.
That's the question. Like, so do you think that deja vu is just a gap in our perception? Like the way that we perceive it is just, it's delayed in our brains. You know, it's going through, maybe it's taken in by the frontal cortex and it hasn't been translated correctly, you know, or maybe it's being interpreted in the wrong lobe or whatever of your brain, and that's why you think that, you know, that's why you're seeing or feeling or experiencing this way. I mean, do you guys believe that that's what it is? Because I don't think there's any definitive studies on this stuff, but I think there's stuff that's out there that says...
Yeah, there's not, because you can't make it happen, right? There's like some studies that say, you know, the stimulation of the frontal lobe can sometimes make this occur, but it's hard to get it in a lab environment and test it.
Audio's too low? All right.
So
I read when I was doing the research,
I got
there
you.
was this guy that had like a growth in his frontal lobe or something, and
should be louder now.
Cancer was making it so that, well, I don't know if it was cancer, but it was a growth. I'm assuming it was some type of cancer. But he was having deja vu all the time, like nonstop. It's like from the moment he woke up to the moment he went to sleep, everything felt like that deja vu.
There you go. Sorry about that.
He'd be walking around and talking to people, and it always felt like he had lived this or experienced it or whatever it was. So it's like there seems to be some correlation with it, definitely having something to do with the frontal lobe. But like, we don't know. Like, we have so little knowledge on how the brain works and like what causes what, and then, you know, for all we know, like how Isaac's saying, like, what if it's more to do with perception? What if it's how we translate things? What if it's part of the brain, that part of the brain is responsible for things that we aren't even aware of, and the stuff that we're perceiving or that we're thinking that we're perceiving is something else that we weren't aware of, like something that's happening around us or something that we have lived or experienced, or maybe it's a different dimension or some other nonsense, and that part of our brain has like visibility or can perceive something that we can't.
I like that.
Perceive. Like, there's so much possibilities.
There really are. You're on mute, I think, Isaac.
You're on mute, Isaac.
There you
Am I on mute now?
No.
No, you're good.
I was saying maybe like a sixth sense or something like that, where you're perceiving more than your five senses that you currently know of. It's something that's beyond.
Brian Stavely in the chat.
Extrasensory, perhaps, or something like that. It's interesting.
Yeah. Or like, you know how like sometimes you can feel when someone's looking at you, but
you're welcome.
You're not seeing
Good to
them,
see you,
just have,
Brenta.
like, a feeling like someone's looking at you.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. What is that?
Another Russian chat.
Yeah,
I mean, Russian
that's what I'm
troll.
saying. Like, we clearly have other senses that we just aren't aware of, right? Like, or even when like sometimes you have like a really bad feeling and you don't know exactly why you have a bad feeling. It's like something's not right, and then you'll like get out of the situation and you'll find out the next day, like, oh yeah, some crazy stuff happened, or like,
some Final Destination shit.
Yeah, and you're like, So it's like we definitely are constantly taking in, you know, sensory information from all these different things, and for all we know, we have something that is, you know, able to perceive something that we're not.
What if it's just subconscious, right? So we are taking in all this shit. Let me give you an example. So let's just do like some Final Destination shit. So you see a a news report on TV about some airline that is short 10,000 mechanics, and they're doing this like shoddy inspections and shit. And you hear that 6 months ago, and then you feel some type of way when you're going to the airport, getting on this plane, which is the same company plane, and that's you don't remember that shit, but subconsciously it's coming up. I don't feel right about getting on this plane, because you're thinking about it.
That's what they say it is, right? Like it's a lost memory, like a memory that deep in your subconscious, part of it exists, like some part of it in some kind of form exists, and that it's coming to the forefront because it's being triggered by this new experience.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead. I want to see if they actually do get to the Mandela effect.
You've never seen him before, and then 3 months later, you'll be somewhere else and be like, "Where have I seen that dude?" I mean, it's just because we remember a hell of a lot more than we actually remember that we can bring up, quickly.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the brain usually puts into long-term storage or long-term memory things that are important or have some kind of significance. So it'd be interesting to know, like if you remember something like that, Alan, like, was that a significant event? Why was it significant for you to remember that person?
Yeah, it's like what exactly about that situation caused it to be stored, right? Or like what caused it to be something that was determined to be important? Like, was it? And then that sometimes, especially because some of these things are like super duper arbitrary, so it's like, this is definitely not important. So maybe it's not only important, maybe it's just like things that are happen repeatedly, right? So like, I was looking in my research, though, saying that people that travel more or people that go to a lot of different places, they experience deja vu more frequently because they might do the same thing in a lot of different places that causes the thing to come up, right? Like if you're constantly at the airport, constantly in hotel rooms, going to different, checking out the best restaurant in one city versus another city.
Well, yeah, but they're taking in so much more info too. They're not just sitting in their house every day. I mean, they're taking in everything all the time.
Yeah. Which would lend to the thesis of like it being something to do with our subconscious and our sensory, what we experience in our subconscious and like, hidden memories.
So that kind of leads into one of the notes that I took doing the research. It says it's most common in teens and early 20s or in the 20s. I wonder if that is because you have fewer memories. You can recall that stuff. You have deja vu more often because you don't have as much to recall. At 50 years old, you got 25 years on somebody's worth of garbage that you've been taking in that's just in a junk pile in your brain.
This show's about the deja vu, and they're supposed to get into the Mandela effect. I should have went through it completely and found where they talked about the Mandela effect, but this is still interesting information on the deja vu. All right, I'm just going to skip ahead again to see if they're actually talking about the Mandela effect at all. Hang on.
Brains.
And then fucking years later, I'm like, oh, what? You tell me that never had a cornucopia? Bullshit.
Okay, yeah, now they're talking about the Mandela effect for sure. So, all right, let's try to see where they're.
Sinbad did a genie movie.
There you go.
Like like someone messed up. Because that was my before I even realized what it was that I was what was the Mandela effect was. I was like, oh, they spelled Berenstain bears wrong. And then I'm sitting there reading what the Mandela effect. I'm like, whoa, right? Like that's not that's crazy. And I'm like, then when you start looking through, and there's so many of those different like scenarios and examples.
Yeah,
it starts making you really wonder, like,
What's funny about that is
this is kind
even
of
though
strange.
we talked about this and I knew that. How that was spelled. My notes show the EI spelling on it right here, but that might just be because we recollect or we attribute that to like a Jewish name, and that's usually like an EI thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but there's a lot of other
No,
examples. Like
I know, but it's
enough
funny because
examples.
even though I knew that it's an AI, I still wrote it as EI.
Berenstain.
I mean, there's something to that, even if it's right or whatever. But the whole premise.
Look, if the son of the bookmakers tells you that the Berenstain Bears were knockoffs, you know something ain't right here. Something ain't right. He either knows all about what's going on and that his name changed, or he totally took the update and he has no idea, that it all really changed on him. But the son, Mike Berenstain, or as they call him now, Berenstain, says that all the Berenstain books were knockoffs, and cartoons that were named Berenstain were knockoffs. That it's always been Berenstain. That's bullcrap.
Of
What
the Mandela Effect thing is that there's a belief that there's like a merging of the two universes, or there's some kind of glitch that's being readjusted or something, or maybe there's some kind of time flow issue or something, and things got rearranged, and that's that kind of anomaly of these things that we misremember or that we attribute to the Mandela Effect.
So, you guys, any guys that have experienced, or not experienced, but know what we're talking about here, the one we found out yesterday, we'll save you guys some time on the Googling on this one. All of us, I think it was all of us, maybe not Isaac, but I know me and Alan both thoroughly remembered Sinbad, the comedian, doing a genie movie. And come to find out, there's a lot of other people that
Sinbad
did a genie movie. He did not. That was Shaq. We
yes,
know
he
that.
did. No,
but
they both did.
Doing our research on this, we found that Sinbad actually hosted a Sinbad the Sailor movie marathon on some network years ago, like in the early 90s or something. And he was dressed like a genie on that. So that one, I think, is kind of can be solved. That it's something we've seen before, but we've mixed it up with something else.
I do remember seeing him in that outfit, though. I just didn't remember a movie. So, but I couldn't recollect where it was attributed to. Like, where why would he be dressed up like Sinbad the Sailor or whatever?
Right.
But
Brian, isn't that some crap?
Something like a
his name
certain
is Sinbad,
outfit.
maybe he did that for fun or whatever. But not even he remembered it.
The thing is that
Captain Nap is sailing around his hot tub.
I had to remind him with a picture of his own costume.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what
it was." It would have been funny if he'd have been like, "No, wait, I remember being in Kazam." And he'd be like, "No, that wasn't even you." That's like double Mandela Effect.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna run through a few of these though, just so that people get what's going on. Because what really tripped me out was a few of these, and the fact that it's not just me, right? Like it's one thing if it's just me misrecollecting things, or me not remembering things, or me having a deja vu feeling, or whatever the heck it is. But like when there's a whole bunch of people that are saying something, and I'm like, nope, that's not how it was. Well, that's weird. Then I feel like there's more to it.
Yep. There's a lot more to it.
Oscar Mayer being spelled
Meyer.
Oscar Meyer, right? Or Oscar Meyer being spelled with an A-Y instead of an E-Y.
Or Wiener.
I feel like is wrong. I feel like that's a strange one.
Always been spelled with an A. The song, man, Mayer.
I remember E, man. I don't know what to tell you. I remember E. Or Pikachu's tail apparently not having any black on it. It only is straight yellow. I don't remember that. I distinctly remember it being a child drawing Pikachu and then putting the black thing on the tail. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's just weird things that, like, I know for a fact I've seen, I experienced, I've done, I have
a kind of a possible solution to the Pikachu one. Because I was thinking about it because I looked.
I had a friend before he even explains, and I don't know what he's going to say, but I've had a friend explain to me about the Pikachu and the black tail. He said, that Pikachu used to have a bunch of friends, and one of them had a black tail, like in the beginning of it or whatever. I don't know. I've never watched an episode of it. Maybe a few minutes with my son when he was a kid or something. But I'm not that big on cartoons, especially not as an adult. But anyway, so my friend said that definitely there was a character that was a friend of Pikachu's that had the black tail that was around at the beginning of the series or whatever. I don't know, but let's just see what he says.
Got a picture of Pikachu, and I'm like, what does that remind me of? And the tail that has that like Z shape. It's the same shape as like Charlie Brown's T-shirt, and that's black.
Oh yeah.
And how many times have we seen Charlie Brown?
Give me a break, dude.
I mean, I don't know. That's the
What
way
the
I
heck?
connected that one.
What is he talking
The
about?
Loom logo doesn't have a cornucopia on it.
Now that one blew my mind.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
never
wait a
remember
second.
it
I
showing that, but
specifically.
Yeah, what you gonna say about the cornucopia?
Yeah. I'm like, it has.
Look, as big as these dudes are, if they're not Mandela affected by all the food ones, I'll be really surprised.
Has a cornucopia. I matter of fact, I remember buying some for the Loom where I'm like, oh, they changed the logo. It doesn't have the corner. Like I remember before even realizing that was a thing, until I read that list and realized like, oh, that's a Mandela effect example. That's never had a cornucopia. I'm like, bullshit. Bullshit. I remember even having the thought in my brain before I even realized it was one of the options of, oh, they changed the logo. They took the cornucopia off. I wonder why they did that. And then fucking years later, I'm like, oh, what? You tell me they never had a cornucopia? Bullshit. No.
Bullshit.
I remember distinctly putting on underwears every fucking day. That damn logo on it. They're not gonna convince me otherwise. I do not care what anyone says.
Yeah, that one blew my mind. And then I looked, and they're like, the brand's website states the logo has never had a Horn of Plenty or cornucopia on it. And I'm like,
Of course they're gonna say that.
I feel like someone's lying at Fruit of the Loom because that one, I would.
Yeah,
I would
that guy
bet
wore some Fruit of the
money
Loom whitey
if
tighties, some
someone
big
asked
ones.
me that, and we hadn't talked about it already. And I would like, I bet you $100 it has a cornucopia, and I would lose $100 because it does not.
Curious George doesn't have a tail. Curious George, a fucking monkey, guys. He's not an ape. Okay, Curious George is a monkey. I specifically remember reading the Curious George book with the guy in the yellow suit, and he had a tail. You're gonna tell me he never had a tail? I just imagined all these times.
I love watching reactions to the Mandela Effect.
I don't know, man. I remember him having a tail. I don't know what to tell you. It's just kind of strange, kind of strange. Looney Tunes, it's spelled Tunes, not Toons. I remember it being the two O's.
Wait
right?
a minute, it's actually spelled Tunes?
Yeah.
No, come on.
Yeah.
Because
It's
they
and
music. They play
and I'm
music
like,
with
no.
the tune, so
Yeah.
with the cartoon.
But I remember seeing the
But
two
it's a play on
O's.
words. It makes sense
I
this
watch
way. It
Looney
doesn't make
Tunes
sense
all
the
the
other
time.
Oh boy.
I get what you're saying, but it does in the sense that it's cartoons. They're cartoons, Looney Tunes. I thought they were loony cartoons.
That makes
not loony music. Not loony music because they played music. Like
I love it.
Listen, I don't care what nobody says. This is the situation I'm talking about. This is what I mean. You're saying one thing, Isaac. You have a good point.
Cartoons. So tunes was short for cartoons, but the whole point was they're applying music to it, so it's tunes. Tunes.
No, man. But the thing is, man, I remember when Space Jam came out. All right, I remember going through a phase where I was a big artist. I drew a lot when I was a kid. My daughter draws a lot. It's a thing my family does. They're painters. I did this. I remember specifically drawing
it wrong
and tags and putting it like copying, like tracing papers sometimes, even like other art. Like tracing the arms. Like I remember the act of the trace. Like I remember seeing it. I would draw Taz all the time and Bugs. You know what I mean? Like and Daffy. Like I know that it had two O's. Just like I know the Fruit Looms had a cornucopia. And Pikachu had goddamn black on it.
Well, maybe
So,
the black
I
was
don't
like
know.
the shadow.
Berenstain
It's
Bears
just like
is
the
an E.
shadow underneath his tail. Maybe that's what you thought was there.
No,
Your
no,
brain's trying to
no,
implant
Isaac.
that. Oh, hey, there should be a shadow.
What's
right
happening
here.
here, sir?
I'm gonna put a
What's happening is the world lines got
happy
fucked up.
little tree.
Something
right over
happened.
here in the screen, you know, happy little.
Nothing to see
Parallel
here.
universes converged, man. I'm telling you, something happened. They got converged, got mixed together, and something's wonky's going on in this simulation. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on.
Yep.
Something got
Well,
entangled
I've
with
got
something.
one. What about Forrest Gump? Do you remember the line about the chocolates?
Life is like.
Yeah.
Life
Yeah.
is like a box of boxes.
It's not the way it's supposed to be.
What Mom said, life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're
Mama
going to get.
always said life
is like
was a box of
or
chocolates,
was? Which
or
one is
was
it?
a box of chocolates. Yeah.
Its mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
She never said life's like a box of chocolates. That never happened.
Not life is like a box
And
of chocolates, but was, because he's telling it in the past tense because she's already died.
I remember it being, Mama always said life's like a box of
I
chocolates.
remember that too when I rewatch it, it says
he takes the update.
Mama always said
When I rewatch it, I take the update.
But that one's kind of like, just talking.
On the VHS cover, it says life is like a box of chocolates. So somebody misremembered it and put it on the VHS, or
and that's where we got it from.
There was some kind of change.
Lines got mixed up.
Or the world lines got.
What about Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. He will come.
What?
No.
What is he building? What is he
It's
building
fake.
it for? A specific person.
He's building it for Babe Ruth,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Well, I think, but it's a specific
I
person.
thought it was for people to come watch the game, and then if they had enough people, like the Babe would
Yeah,
come.
see, that's what I thought too, and I thought they is what it was, but I just watched a little video earlier.
I just thought it meant the
talking about
players. All the players would
just the individual player, and when he comes, everybody else comes too. But it was all about that one player. So.
I think a lot of this is bullshit. I think you're lying to me.
The other one, Star Wars, when he says, a lot of people remember it, Luke, I am your father. And it's even been portrayed like that a lot of times, like in when people
That
parody it, like
Yeah.
like Spaceballs and some other shows and stuff. They're like, Luke, I am your father. But he never says it like that.
I got you, Brian.
Well, no, he says
No,
I am your father or whatever. Because he's like, oh, Obi-Wan said you killed him. Well, you murdered him, and he's like, no, I am your father. But
is there a way to set it up that nobody with a username that has thirst in it can comment? Because I'm sick of thirst for cock, dude.
I remember hearing that line before I even seen the movie. And mind you, I love Star Wars, but I always heard it being Luke, I am your father, from everyone else, and jokes and parodying it, and people saying I am your father. But then when I actually saw the movie, I seen it as no, I am your father. So it's possible that the world line changed in the middle there before.
It's possible something
right before
some kind of temporal disruption happened. Right.
If anybody comes in the chat and they have the word thirst in their name, immediately block them. Get rid of them.
Right in the middle of that.
Happened in the middle. Yeah.
Oh my god! I just watched that clip from Field of Dreams. It is He Will Come. What
but
the?
I remember They Will Come so much.
The name of the video that I watched it from Fandango was "They Will Come," and they whatever.
No, if you block somebody, if you hide them from the channel, they can't comment.
What about Aqua's song? I'm a Barbie girl. Is it in a Barbie world or in the Barbie world?
I'm a Barbie girl. In a Barbie
it's
world.
actually the.
Yeah.
But I can see where that one could be mistaken a little bit because
and they sound the same.
Close, you know.
But the damn cornucopia, that is different.
That's different.
I'm telling
See,
you,
everybody has
here's the
one.
weird-
That's a good point that he just did that. Everybody has one Mandela effect that they can't debunk. I mean, we have dozens or more, you know, but I guarantee you, if anybody that has an open mind and gives, you know, a chance and looks through all of them, you know, they're gonna definitely be affected and be bothered by a Mandela effect or two or 2000.
Weird thing to me. The weirder thing to me isn't that I'm experiencing this thing, because people can misremember things. It's not just me and Aaron. It's on the goddamn internet. There's a whole fucking name for this effect. A lot of people, and these are just examples that are popular enough to get presented with enough folks that have, you know, like, think about how many times this probably happens on a regular basis with people that never speak and they remember things differently, and they agree on remembering things differently. They never realize that they experience things differently. Like, that is a perfect example.
That's why I like to ask my neighbors, my friends, my family, people, strangers in the community. I love to go, hey, do you remember Jiffy peanut butter? Or hey, you remember this, that, and the other, or whatever. And you know, get the Mandela effect out there. Each and every one of y'all can do that, and that will help this community grow. You don't have to be a creator, a content creator, and make Mandela effect videos. Just get it out there, that it's out there, and that you know that it's real, you know, and people will turn to the internet and find this community, you know, and answers. So, you know, just at least tell people about it.
Of how, like, shit can be constantly melding together, and world lines can be changing and intertangling and all kinds of bullshit, and we would never realize it. And as a species, what we always do is we always try to find the most logical explanation that doesn't disturb our, like, fragile perception on how everything works.
Boy.
Yeah. Aliens can't be real. That's ridiculous. You're stupid. Deja vu. No, you couldn't have possibly lived something. It's just or been a world line thing. It's your brain with the chemicals and the blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. I'm not saying you're not right. You're probably right. You make a lot more sense. You're smarter than me. But you know what? You don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. And there's a possibility that maybe it's something that you don't realize. At one point in time, people thought eating cheese was a good idea. Guess what? Probably not healthy to survive off cheese. Like, I don't know, man.
Cheese is delicious, though.
Yes, it is.
It's not necessarily good for you.
Well, the whole
cheese,
like,
please.
back to Deja vu thing, like, it's definitely like a weird experience.
I like cheese in my gravy.
Sometimes I notice it happens whenever I'm like kind of off. Those days are just kind of off to begin with. Like, maybe I'm a little bit sluggish thinking, or maybe I'm like, I don't know. I can't really explain it.
Because you have it's because you have a hangover in the alternate you.
Like it's affecting me somehow instead.
What if?
I don't know. I mean,
what if all the flat earthers come from a different dimension?
Whoa!
Ha
ha! Did you hear that? Whoa! Now they're gonna throw a shot at the flat Earth. Hold up! What? These chumps. So they think the Earth is round like they are, big round shovelards.
That maybe it's something that you don't realize. At one point in time, people thought eating cheese was a good idea.
Whoops, I went
what?
back too far.
Probably not healthy to survive off cheese.
A hangover in the alternate you.
Like it's affecting me somehow instead.
What if?
I don't know.
Here.
I mean,
what if all the flat earthers come from a different dimension, and in their dimension, the Earth is flat, and that's why they're crazy.
I think it would be easier for
that's why they're crazy.
Oh my goodness! Now flat earthers are crazy. Huh. Wow, and from a different dimension.
Wouldn't it be easier for quantum entanglement if you had a flat Earth? It'd just be a bunch of flat.
Hey, Melanie.
Parallel universes stacked on top of each other. It would probably be really close.
Maybe in their dimension, the Earth is flat. You feel me? And they remember like learning it, and it makes sense to them, and then they got tangled up, and their brain got all shoveled, all mixed up, and now they think the Earth is flat, even though we have videos and shit where there people are in space looking at the goddamn Earth and it's round. You know?
Oh man,
I did have a deja vu event. Like this last week, I was telling Alan about it because I was like,
well, I was about to turn it off. Did you see? I was about to literally just turn this off and say if y'all wanted to watch the rest, you could. But now they're gonna do a hit piece on flat earthers. Oh man, I'm glad I kept it playing.
Like making a list of things that he needed from the grocery store or something, and I was just like, I've been here and done this before. I guess it's not a deja vu. That's a deja vecu or whatever. Experienced it.
I guess they're done about flat Earth
I
now.
was like, what the heck is? I remember this happening before, but it definitely couldn't have been. My dad's only been in my house for like a week. There's no way that this has happened before, right? This is the first time this could have ever happened in this way. But I remember all the details, like where I was.
All right, so that was terrible. Oh dear. All right, and this is all new, by the way. I mean, that was extremely new. And they don't have many, shocker alert, those three fat guys, overweight guys, don't have many subscribers. I know you're shocked.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hold on 1 second. If you just give me a moment. Unfortunately, I have to respond to an idiot online. To go around the algorithm, you have to set your VPN to Istanbul and send. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm all yours. My bad.
Well, I must admit I don't know too much about the subject, but I have seen some rumblings online.
I haven't watched this yet, so I'm sorry.
It's a rather strange thing to be obsessed about, but I guess it is human nature to inquire about such oddities.
So basically, a lot of people remember Nelson Mandela dying in the 1980s, but the funny thing is that isn't actually true. He was released from prison in the 1990s and died in 2013, but despite this, so many people remember seeing his funeral on television, but it didn't actually happen.
Nelson Mandela's face is one of the most recognizable in the world. And tonight in South Africa, this symbol of racial equality died at the age of 95.
There is no question that Nelson Mandela died in the 80s. I mean, no question about it.
You're a dork.
Wait, did I say question already?
Nelson Mandela did not die in 2013, and I have proof, okay? Because I distinctly remember I was 6 years old, and I was watching something on TV, and my grandmother explained it to me at the time, that it was a funeral for Nelson Mandela, and she was really sad because he was a great man and he had died in prison. I mean, how else do you explain that?
The simplest explanation is that these are false memories. People are
I explain it by you came across Starfire Tor's fake story that she put out there that he died in prison, and you got attached to it.
remembering something to be real when they're not. Just can't quite explain why they're really focused on breakfast cereals.
This isn't anything new. You can look at psychologists like Sigmund Freud, for example. And Sigmund Freud had a theory about false memories, that people would create false memories to deal with past trauma. And I think you can pull from that theory and apply it here.
Oh yeah, Freud is really big on the forms. I mean, with Freud, it's like, do you want to have sex with your mom?
2 minutes to 4:20
Do you
somewhere.
remember wanting to have sex with your mom?
What?
It really makes you think.
This isn't some kind of fridge internet thing anymore, okay? There are too many examples of this happening over and over again.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
Magic mirror on the wall.
It's Jeff Armstrong. He's eating Apple Jacks.
They used to be called Appy Jacks. I know for a fact, because when I was a kid, I remember waking up for breakfast and I'm like, Mommy, I want Appy Jacks.
Oh my
and then
God.
all of a sudden, they're called Apple Jacks. There's
Give me a
no way.
break.
They were Appy Jacks. Why would I wake up
No, this is just a total hit piece, I guess, because that's just stupid. Nobody remembers Appy Jacks.
and say, Mommy, give me Appy Jacks? Makes no sense.
Kellogg's Applejack. Did you see in the background he had Nicola Cola right here. I bet there's a dash between there. I don't know. Maybe not.
Kellogg's Apple Jacks is part of this complete breakfast.
The craziest one for me is that growing up, I had this dog that I really loved. But if I look at the pictures now, there's no dog. It's a black cat. So, like, they turned my dog into a cat? And I asked my mom about it. And she was like, what are you talking about? We never had a dog. That was Buttons, and he was a cat. And I was like, oh, they got to you too, huh? And then if you peel back another layer, did I even ever have a mom?
We aren't all wrong.
See,
okay?
this is a hit
We're
piece.
not. Okay, there's full transparency. I was wrong about one. I used to think it was called the Betsons. And then later I found out it was a prank my older sister was playing on me.
Oh yeah, the Betsons. I remember that. That was a long time ago. Oh my god, did he tell you about the future?
Yeah, he did.
The Betsons live in the future. So do you need anything else? I gotta go take care of my child.
No, that's it.
All right, take care.
Stupid, man.
One of the biggest examples of the Mandela Effect is the Berenstain Bears.
This one kills me, okay? It was Berenstain Bears. Do you know any Berenstains? Stains? No, of course not. But we sure as hell all know a Berenstain, and in this case, they were lovable bears.
I didn't thank you for all the trouble you went to find me a helmet that fits.
As a kid, I had a really, really nice bookshelf, and I loved to read. I mean, the bookshelf was mahogany. It had a bunch of books on it. Oh, remember Scholastic Book Club? I had so many books. I remember taking a Berenstain Bears book from that bookshelf. I can vividly remember it saying Berenstain Bears. And I had about 300 on my bookshelf. I had Berenstain Bears go to school. Berenstain Bears go to the doctor. There's even a limited edition one, Berenstain Bears poop the tree. So then at some point, something was altered and it's changed to Berenstain.
Okay, can I just say something here? I know this has nothing to do with the Berenstain Bears, but those Charmin bears in the commercial, they really creep me out.
Hello, cream bottom.
Okay, so here's what we think happened, and it's the only logical explanation. Someone traveled back in time and changed it from Berenstain to Berenstain. And just by doing this one small change, it altered our timeline. You can't play around with time travel. It's serious.
By reading these journals, I might be able to get Kaylee back.
I'd think twice about what you're doing. You could wake up a lot more messed up than you are now.
Oh my god.
Well, that's the butterfly effect. So now they're trying to bring in the butterfly effect to it.
Butcher was so ahead of his time with Butterfly Effect. I mean, that scene where he goes into the diner where Amy Smart is working.
You're right, Evan. I don't believe you.
I never thought you would.
Phenomenal. So insane. I mean, it just shows you everything affects everything.
Fuck Donnie Darko. This is the real shit. If someone tells you they like Donnie Darko, you know they're just a little poser and can't handle the realness.
I'm sorry, I didn't see the Ashton Kutcher film. Are you talking about Chaos Theory, I presume?
Look, I'm not saying that's how we got Trump, but what if? What if because someone went back and changed the last name of those bears, now we have President Trump? That's all I'm saying. What if Trump wasn't even in Home Alone 2? And because of that change, now he is.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
What if it was Carter?
How do we get back to the timeline where Mandela died in prison and the Monopoly Man wore a monocle? Maybe that's the same timeline where my cat is still my dog and my mom is still my mom.
Okay, since you seem to be obsessed with pop cultural items, yes, if somebody went back in time and altered them, it would change the timelines, sure.
You really have to be careful here because you don't want to stifle information, but you also don't want to let it run rampant. There's a real danger to that.
I never even liked the show. I'm quite the opposite. I hated it. Admittedly, I was into some of the other HBO shows, like Real Sex and Tales from the Crypt, but definitely not this one. My sister loved it, always watching it. One day I was looking at her DVD box set, and I noticed that it said Sex and the City. I was like, that's strange. The show's called Sex in the City. Why does it say end? I thought it was just a misprint. So to make sure, I did some research by watching the entire series start to finish, and every episode said sex and the city. Also, why would Carrie not stay with Aiden? I told you, this show sucks. I completely despise Sex in the City, and yet it was starting to control.
Look, we need better Mandela Effect information out there, folks. We've got to be above all of this crap, because people are seeing all this crap and going, "Yep, they're just a bunch of nuts. I don't want anything to do with the Mandela Effect because they're all just freaking cuckoo." Oh my God, this is ridiculous, man. I can't stand this world. And, it's an information war. I hate to say that, a data war. And it's like they know that if they just get everybody singing, humming the same tune, then, they can have them believing anything. Oh, even if it doesn't make sense.
Every aspect of my life. I found some sites where people knew the truth, but it was bigger than just an end.
MK Ultra in the house.
What else was different, and what timeline are we really on? On April 15, 2018, I broke into Sarah Jessica Parker's home when her and Matthew Broderick were in Europe on vacation. I was looking for a script, a contract, anything that could prove I wasn't crazy. But everything I found said end. I didn't understand what was going on. I just couldn't make sense of it. This is the moment when everything changed, because I was looking around her apartment and I started thinking to myself, this stuff's probably worth a lot. So I took a bunch of Sarah Jessica Parker's stuff and sold it online. Diamonds, shoes, her cats. It didn't matter. I was putting it all on eBay.
Oh my goodness.
I started making
now
a
we're
ton
thieves.
of money.
So now we're thieves breaking into celebrities' homes because of the change.
I moved out of my parents' house and even got a girlfriend for the first time. Things were going great. I stopped caring about what timeline we were on because for the first time in my life,
Brian, let's break into Tom Hanks's house. We'll sell all his shit, all his typewriters. Typewriters.
I was happy. Until I made the mistake of selling one of her Christian Louboutin shoes to an FBI agent.
Woo!
About 15 cops showed up at my house with guns drawn. I remember one screamed, "Get down on the ground! Nobody steals from Sarah Jessica Parker." They arrested me. I still don't know what universe we're truly in. I just know that in this one, fancy shoes are watermarked.
Wow.
Mark my words. Are you marking them? There are things right now that we accept as fact that will be changed. I don't know, the spelling of Captain Crunch, bananas in pajamas, pajama pattern, Blanca's hair color. So I don't know what it'll be. I just know it'll happen, okay?
Think of Netflix, for example. We all know it has an X in it. What if one day we wake up and the X is just gone and it's Netflix? What do we say then? Sure, the snowflakes will go along with it, but we'll all know the truth, that we switched timelines.
Obviously, the internet is the cog here. Without it, this information isn't as widespread. And I get it. The Mandela Effect is really interesting, and so are parallel universes, but it's best to just leave it there. Don't break into Sarah Jessica Parker's home to prove that there's another dimension.
So what if none of this is real, and then through pop culture artifacts, we get that confirmation? So if that's the case, shouldn't we just all log off and go outside? Oh, I have a great idea.
What?
Oh, for your film. What if I say that cool stuff and then you just have it like the TV turn off like...
Oh, all right. We could give it a shot.
Okay, cool. So just set me up for that question. I'll redo it, okay?
Okay, so what do you make of all this?
What if none of this is real and through pop culture artifacts, we get that confirmation? I mean, shouldn't we just, if that's the case, log off and go outside?
I'm glad that's over. Holy cow, man. Ooh, I gotta take a break from that. Man. Does anybody wanna join me and comment? I'll put the link out there. You can join me for a few minutes or whatever. I've got more to share, but if anybody just really wants to say how crazy that all was. There you go. You can join me. So, man, like I said, they're the hit pieces, the haters and the mockers and scoffers. I mean, they are coming out of the woodwork like we've never seen before. But at the same time, it's probably because the Mandela effect is finally growing like we wanted it to. It's finally like, you know, getting out there to more and more people, and it's probably too because people are, you know, just they're waking up one reason or another, and they're seeing the changes, and they're, you know, they're looking for answers. But we can help that along by just getting out there and telling more people about it. And don't sound like a nut, but just, you know, hit them with the ones that, you know, count and are debunkable. I mean, not debunkable, you know. And and you know, it's just crazy, man. We got to get ahead of this, you know, misinformation and hit pieces. And you're you know, you're crazy. You're remembering and all that stuff. Woo woo woo. I'm gonna do a shout out real quick. I see RT Jams out and Gaynar. Call for Zero, Melanie, Moran. Moran. Let's see. Brian Stavely, Soul for Sale. Russian Bot, MK Ultra. Hey. Salted Cedar. Dun, dun, dun. Looking and looking and looking for more people. Sinsman. Heather Phillips. Long Reach One. Beppo. That's another Russian thing. Prenta. Christian Knapp was here earlier. All right. Another freaking Russian troll in the chat. I see. Somebody got it. Okay. So, all right. I'll go. I'll get back to I'll go and get to these articles that I have. And let me know if you're backstage, if you do join. All right, so go over here, the Mandela Effect. Here we go. Hang on.
Also saying, but it was so bad he wanted to get rid of it.
The internet plays a huge role in a lot of this.
I remember remembering it a certain way, but I don't remember the title of it.
That just because somebody tells you something, and they even cry when they tell you, it doesn't mean it actually happened.
So I'm aware that there are mechanisms that people have to not remember things correctly.
So how good is your memory? If asked about an event that happened in your past, would you be able to describe it down to the fine details? And then after you described it so well,
they always want to attack the memory.
That event never even existed. For this story, I decided to call on my childhood friends.
What's up, man? Do you remember back in the 90s, there was a movie about a genie? It was an African-American genie. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude.
Who played the genie?
Was it Sinbad?
Who was the actor?
I remember Shaq, but like it's actually Sinbad, isn't it? Or no?
Do you remember one with Sinbad?
Oh yeah, dude, it's Sinbad. What was it called?
So for the longest time, I've had this memory of Sinbad playing in a movie as a genie in the 90s. And I'm not the only one that has had this thought. In fact, there were thousands around the world that have had this exact same memory. But the issue is that with a simple Google search, the movie's nowhere to be found. So I took it one step further and went to one of LA's final movie rental stores to search for the 90s film Shazam.
Too many to count. We do have a very wide selection of VHSs here.
What they could have found probably was the movie Honeymoon in Vegas, which has on the back of it Sex in the City. Jessica Sarah Parker Sex and the City on it. Yeah. Imagine that.
My coworker probably had somebody come in here and asking for it.
Bit of
After
Venom.
searching
Hey,
hundreds
hey.
of titles, just like my Google search,
Martin
the
Haley,
film
hey.
was nowhere to be found. So I took it one step further. As Sinbad continues to recover from a stroke, I asked his kids directly, was this movie ever made?
So Shazam, starring Sinbad, our dad,
Mm-hmm.
was not real.
It was not.
Didn't happen.
Did not happen.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Get over
The
these.
main one I've heard is that he's a genie, and there are these kids. They've lost some type of parent. It's mainly been the mom, but
Always the mom.
The mom. Sometimes
the
people
mom.
say it's the dad, but
Yeah.
they've lost a parent.
Yeah.
And apparently, he, as the genie, helps them cope through it.
Because that's what genies do.
And that is the storyline across many threads and blog posts, that Sinbad's genie character was helping a couple of kids cope through a tragic time. This is called the Mandela Effect.
And it's a belief that specific details from the past are being altered or changed.
Sinbad and Shazam is just one example of dozens.
The most famous one is the children's book, The Berenstain Bears. This title of this children's book, The Berenstain Bears, this book I did read a bunch when I was a kid. So I had an idea about how it was spelled. And so I just had this kind of unconscious feeling of how it was spelled. And in this case,
I know that, Brian. But I still wanted to show a little bit of it. Do. All right, we're going to move on to the next. The Mandela Effect. This is Madison plus Maine, madisonmaine.com. Typical copy and paste article. Fruit Loom, Febreze, Jiffy, Fruit Loops. I'm not one to spread conspiracy theories, but folks, I've been reading about the Mandela Effect recently, and I'm seriously freaked out. In case you are unaware of this phenomenon, it was first reported 10 years ago when various people recalled different versions of Nelson Mandela's death. Okay, blah, 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 blah. We know all that part. All right. The Mandela is false memory on a much bigger, wider, grander scale. No. In branding, our number one goal is to create an emotional attachment to a product or service, so people remember it. After all, no one even bought a product or service they were unaware of. Were you aware of these things that people often remember incorrectly? I vividly remember Fruit Loom logo having a cornucopia behind the fruit. And he says, nope. I also recall Johnny Carson's sidekick, Ed McMahon, knocking on the doors, giving away millions in the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. He didn't. Ed McMahon never worked for that company. My favorite brand of peanut butter growing up was Jiffy. I just learned it's Jif. If you asked me to spell Febreze, I would spell it with 4 E's. F-E-B-R-E-E-Z-E, and swear to you that I was right. Again, folks, I was in management in grocery stores for years, and I've ordered all these products that they talk about in the grocery store that are Mandela affected. Ordered them all, hundreds, thousands, maybe thousands of times, and certainly thousands of cases. And for a long time there, I had to stop in front of each product on each row, every row of the grocery store with a little scan thing and scan each label. And so I've been face to face with all those products so many times. Fruit Loops, to Depends, to Febreze, to you name it. I mean, they're all have been changed. And they're not the same as what I remember anyway. So there's that. But all right. So speaking of spelling, the correct name of my favorite childhood cereal was Fruit Loops, not Fruit Loops with UI. But actually, now they say it was for a year or two, and then they changed it to OO. But I'm telling you right now, I have ordered thousands of cases of Fruit Loops, not thousands boxes of cereal, but thousands of cases of boxes of cereal, and it never had OO on it when I was working and ordering them. Half of the survey respondents tell you that's the color chartreuse, whatever. I don't care about that one. All right, that was it, I guess, on that one. Beam Me Up Scotty. Now this one goes to try and explain why that Beam Me Up Scotty was never in the movie, of course. And it says that it was based on a bumper sticker. Have you ever heard this one, Brian? This says that we all got the Beam Me Up Scotty from a bumper sticker. Beam Me Up Scotty was never actually uttered in Star Trek, the original series. One of the films got pretty close, but even then it phrased Scotty beam me up, contrary to the belief it is not even said Star Trek, blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyway, let's see where it says. The actual phrase comes from a famous Star Trek bumper sticker that said, beam me up. Scotty. Yeah, beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life on this planet. Oh, okay, so it said all of that, I guess. Beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life on this planet. Sorry, that's what I was trying to figure out. It finally made an appearance in the franchise when William Shatner himself said in the audiobook version of his 1995 novel, The Ashes of Eden, it was later used in it was later used in Star Trek of 2009. More often, Kirk said for to beam up, and he was talking to whomever happened to be at the transporter console. Very rarely was this Scotty himself who was the chief engineer, meaning no version of the command was said to him with any regularity. All right, so another backstory on that, of course, saying that they never ever said it. The ripple effect, proof memory. TTS 69 likes to use the ripple effect, the name. When time travel is used to rewrite past events, the character will retain their memory of the original timeline, i.e., how everything went the first time round, even though that version of the events no longer will have happened. Everyone else will only remember the new reality. This is a necessary weasel for time travel stories. Now, isn't that something that they would pick the name weasel? This is a necessary weasel for time travel stories, because isn't that what they said got into CERN was a weasel? And yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to read into all that, but that's just funny that it says weasel. And yeah. Anyway, how can they set right what once went wrong if they don't know something went wrong? This could be justified a number of ways. It doesn't affect time travelers. The character used applied phlebotomium. They are immune to fate. They are a time master. They have moved into an alternate universe or whatever. The bottom line is this character has an advantage that no one else does, and this is why their memories are unaffected by someone rewriting time. Expect the timey-wimey ball to be thrown around to explain stuff like this. If you already changed the past is involved, if you already changed the past is involved, then the explanation is much simpler. They knew it would happen because they already did it. I don't know why that's so hard to read, but the trope becomes trickier when characters don't have the justification to get ripple effect proof memory anyway. This is just talking about mainly time travel, the Groundhog Day there. I thought they were going to talk about the Mandela Effect, but I guess not. But time travel, does explain. I think there's people attempting to time travel, and maybe just attempting to time travel is making changes. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody knows for sure. All right, so check this out. This is strange. I can't find anything for us to watch other than this little stupid clip for 27 seconds that's supposed to be behind the scenes from an episode 1. But I tell you, I searched high and low. I don't even know what channel it was on, but this is a series that was filmed in 2018 and 19 called Chasing Mandela. Have you ever heard of it? Anybody? Chasing Mandela. The maze will clear, the truth revealed, is what it says on it. The maze will clear. All right, but this is what it says. The Mandela Effect is a psychological phenomenon or false memory, or is it? Maybe the Mandela Effect is caused by the manipulation of the timeline by the shadow government. Could a non-terrestrial influence be at work? And its creator, David Harper. But I've never seen it on TV. Has anybody seen it on TV? Nobody in our community's ever said they've seen this. It's called Chasing Mandela. And they have a couple episodes that are, all about the Mandela Effect. But, you can't. And there's 2 seasons. I mean, look, let's go to season 1. Where in the world is Nelson Mandela? Our intrepid investigators begin their quest for the truth. Join them as they chase the Mandela Effect. So that episode came out on January 8th, 2018, it says. Okay, but you can't watch it. I can't find it anywhere on the internet to watch it. Episode 2, has anyone seen My Mandela? Danny and Rob ask for your help to get to the bottom of the Mandela Effect. Join the quest for truth. Came out a week later on January 15th, 2018. And then on and on. There's a bunch of episodes. It's crazy. Here we go. Number 3. A mental health professional is queried to try and understand the psychology of the Mandela Effect. Episode number 4, Truth and Former Consequences. The team sits down with a theoretical physicist to see if quantum theory can explain the Mandela Effect. So where was this played? Why can't we see any of it? There's not even a trailer. Not even a trailer for this 2-season a show called Chasing Mandela. Somebody tell me they've seen it, because this is the Mandela Effect or something. Where'd this come from? And why would they suppress it? It can't be, it's so good that they suppressed it. But this is just unbelievable. All these episodes they made about the Mandela Effect, and we can't even watch any of it, to see what the heck they're talking about, And maybe they were so wrong that they didn't want to put it out there. I don't know what the heck, but that's how we get you. Our investigators travel to Wade Tillerson's mobile abode to get his experience with the Mandela Effect. A picture is worth 1,000 false memories. Rob and Danny accepts Peter's Dillinger's invitation to visit and discuss his experience with the Mandela Effect. Does Peter hold hard evidence? Excuse me. Okay. And on and on and on. Mandela Effect, So has anybody heard of this? Yes, it's on Internet Movie Database. Very popular website. Everybody goes to check out new movies or shows even too. And it's just nuts that I can't find any information. I can't, other than on here about it, and can't find, anywhere to watch the episodes. So yeah. So maybe some of y'all can look into that. Chasing Mandela. And if you look, you're going to get, if you search Chasing Mandela, you're going to probably get Chasing Mandela Rainbow, which is something different. But it overshadows this here. So yeah. Anyway, there's that. Have you ever heard of this? Mandela Days. This is actually happening. As the world plunges into chaos with the Mandela Effect, scientifically confirmed, two dim-witted losers navigate the sci-fi glitches and anomalies introduced daily into the world in an attempt to keep their pointless lives as unaffected as possible. Oh my goodness. Are y'all ready for this? We're going to watch the pilot of Mandela Days, Daze, Mandela Days, cartoon pilot. Anybody seen this?
This is actually happening. Just repeating that, scientists have now confirmed that the Mandela Effect, the popular culture belief that the Earth is slipping in between alternate parallel
Instead of a Sony TV, it's Boney. Sony Boney.
realities causing unpredictable anomalies and changes in the Earth's timeline, is actually happening.
This has got to be bullshit, right?
Why? Because it's the mainstream media.
Hey, if you want to trust the mainstream media, you go right ahead. But no one has ever proven the existence of any Mandela Effect.
Yeah, they have. It's exactly what the news report just said.
On discovery of the anomaly, CERN shut down the Large Hadron Collider and ceased any further experimentation. But director of CERN, Marlon Brando, who was believed dead and an actor, we think, in his original alternate
Marlon Brando is the head of CERN.
reality, was careful to reiterate that he didn't believe CERN's Large Hadron Collider
Joe Mudd in the house.
was the source of the space-time continuum anomalies.
Were you ever listening to Marlon Brando? Scientists have verified that this is happening.
If it's happening, then what's different now?
That's the whole point. You wouldn't remember, would you? Because, as Marlon Brando just said, what are we doing, Steve?
Don't treat me like a child. I know what's going on.
Just in case you don't, you can't remember because you slipped between alternate dimensions, took on all the memories from a new alternate reality.
All right, let me just see if anybody's backstage. Okay, yeah, we got somebody. Hey, MK Ultra, what's happening, man?
What's up, Tommy?
What are you thinking about all this hit pieces and stuff we've seen today, huh? Is it crazy? Here, I'll stop screen here for a second here. All right. Yeah, how you doing, man?
Campaign, trying to break our arguments into absurdum and then easily defeat them. So
yeah,
they're just, and it's very interesting because it's this information war. These are our tools. They're going after our tools. Flat Earth, Mandela, anything we can use to start waking people up. So it seems like they know our weapons just like we do.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I look at all this stuff and analyze it because, you have to know your enemy, and you should, the ultimate enemy, Satan and the beast system, knows us very well, if not better than we know ourselves, because they do their homework and they've been watching, from forever. But we don't live in fear, but we do
tools against them too. We could dress up in lab coats and uniforms and things like that, and then start talking about the effect and things like that, and try to look more official. And I mean, it would be using their tools against them, but we don't use deceptive tactics. We'd rather be real. Got to be straightforward.
Yeah.
If
So
you know you awaken somebody with a deceptive tactic, then you're no good than the beast himself in that system.
yeah, I definitely plan on getting out and doing like doing some man on the street interviews and stuff. And I've talked about doing a Mandela Effect booth at a flea market to introduce people to the Mandela Effect. And I'm gonna certainly not be acting a fool or a nut or violent or something like that. They need to see that we're not crazy, we're not violent, but because that's what all these people and media people are putting out there is that we're just crazy, violent, whatever, nuts, and if we don't push back on it, then that's all. They're just going to make a mockery of this and us, forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I try to talk to the people around me. Like every day for the last 4 months, I mentioned a new Mandela Effect to my coworker, and he's fully believed. I got him to go pull out his old grandpa's Bible to look up Bible pages. And sure enough, so he's definitely on board. But he's thinking time travel now. I got him. He doesn't believe in a moon landing. I'm gonna rope him in with flat Earth here in a second. Every day, just kind of wearing it down just a little bit. And we work at a grocery store, so it's easy. It's like, all right, go to the aisle where the stuffing is. Go find Stouffer's stovetop stuffing. Oh, you can't find it? Huh? We all know about it. How come you can't find it? How about Macintosh apples? I went and talked to the produce manager. I was like, do you remember the apple that ends in Tosh, what it's called? She's like, oh yeah, Macintosh. I was like, oh, no, Macintosh never.
I worked at a produce plant, so that's another one I often forget about, though, is the Macintosh apples. I always think about Haas and now changing to Haas. But yeah, there's definitely so many changes that are personal for me, and not just personal, but some of them, it's just like it's like mocking me. It's like just like ha ha ha. I know you worked in the grocery business forever and ordered all these products so many times, but ha ha ha, we're changing them on you. Yeah, take that. Yeah, it's like, oh boy.
I used to work at a video store, video rental place when they still existed. So I remember covers like Bridget Jones's Diary and things like that. I shelved them all the time. So it's like when those change, it's like that's not right.
Yeah. Did you see Shazam?
That one I never saw on the shelves. That one I don't associate with my timeline. So that's the craziest one. And I was a big Sinbad fan, so I know a lot of his. Isn't
it hard to be a Sinbad fan? I don't know. Okay, I think you're the first one that's admitted they're a Sinbad fan. But
there were certain things I looked for in movies that were like very calming to me, and like movies like the Cherokee Kid and things like that. It's just like the lack of violence or anything too crazy kind of was easy for me to watch.
Right. Let's see.
So it's his simplicity, I guess.
Oops. What Brian said.
Not deep humor.
Oh boy. Man, oh man. So let me get let's finish watching this thing here. The Mandela. Have you ever heard of the Mandela Days?
No.
The one I was just showing. Okay, well, we'll finish watching that.
The other Chasing Mandela.
Yeah, or that one. I was hoping to find. I was hoping to find it where I could watch it.
Is there a syndication? There should be a syndication number for it, or something like that.
They had an official website that you're supposed to be able to go to, and it's no longer any good. So I guess it flopped, and they just pulled it off so that people couldn't copyright it or something. But I've never heard of it. Never seen it in any TV listings or anything like that, and
or we're gonna see episodes
or on any streaming sites. Never saw it on any streaming sites. I would have looked at it, So that one is weird, Chasing Mandela. And then like I said, if you look up Chasing Mandela, they're going to show you Chasing Mandela Rainbow, which is some other project thing they got going on, whatever. So it's, oh my gosh, makes it harder to even find anything,
Yeah, you got to put it in quotations, and it still gives you the wrong thing.
Right. And all right, so let's go ahead and watch that, and then we'll come back and talk. Screen share.
Oh, that's kind of convenient, isn't it? You know, it's a conspiracy theory when it's fallible.
I think you mean unfalsifiable.
I know, I'm not an idiot.
Only idiots ever have to tell people they're not idiots.
Are you an idiot?
Don't tell me.
Oh, fuck! So I suppose this
Hey, Mark.
McLolly doesn't really exist either.
The McLolly, 2 all-beef patties drenched in delicious golden honey, all held together by 2 sponge cake buns and deep fried in an oversized vat of boiling hot genuine Canadian maple syrup tapped lovingly at the highest peak of the Rocky Mountains. We pulverize the entire burger to dust in an antique mortar and pestle so you can snort it directly into your brain with a long, hard piece of genuine Vietnamese sugar cane. Why is there so much blood? I can't do this. I can't.
Every day you bombard me with bullshit conspiracy.
Huh?
The flashing images.
Yeah,
it's
like
good.
yeah. I guess they're just showing the programming and stuff. All right, let's see what
The queen is a fucking lizard or whatever. But this one verified by science is too far-fetched for you.
Well, maybe I was a conspiracy theorist in the other reality, and this one I'm not.
Yeah, hence proving the theory. And also that you're completely fucking brain-decapped.
You know, I'm offended by that. My brother Lenny, he was brain decapped.
Oh, fucking hell, you don't have a brother.
I do have a brother. At least I did. I lost him to a weird cult where they worshipped well-endowed platypuses. He was never quite right after that, so I took him down the river, asked him to close his eyes, imagined fluffy bunnies, and then I summarily executed him. For kindness.
You know I've read of Mice and Men, right?
No, I mean, what do you mean?
The novel you're ripping off with this dumbass story. I know the source material.
Yeah, nah, that's not... fucking... What the hell is this itch?
Oh, probably some deg fungal infection, you unwashed hobo.
This is Hank Wankerson coming to you live during the events of the first ever Mandela Effect. I found this old woman in the streets. Let's see what she has to say about it all. Excuse me, miss, have you noticed anything out of place since the Mandela Effect was confirmed?
Oh, no, not really. I can't say I have, young man. I still put my granny undies on one leg at a time.
So do I, old lady, so do I.
Yeah, but you
Just
do.
kidding, I'm Hank Wankerson.
You know, they never did say what the change was.
What change?
The fucking Mandela change.
I guess it's a mystery. Maybe it'll forever remain one?
Nah, it must be something. I wonder why they don't say.
Dude, why are you talking funny?
Huh? I'm not talking funny.
You are. You sound like a Morgan Freeman voiceover or something. You're over-explaining everything, using names in an introductory way. It's like you're
I've never seen this,
providing
Mark.
exposition or something.
Yeah, no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Fucking hell, my asshole's itchy.
Asshole?
Weird how us humans have assholes in our feet, huh? Damn, I need to pinch one out.
Oh god, fucking hell no!
Now he has a butthole on his foot from the Mandela Effect.
Sure. They have a backstory.
They want people to donate money to it. Wow. Help us make the show. Mandela Days is getting made no matter what. But if you'd like to help us focus on it full time, then feel free to.
Of course it is. It's about the government.
Here's the guys, the creators. Here, Kaylin Kavanaugh, Rodney Evans, and Harvey Withington.
So the handler
Withington.
and the two animators.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
right.
What is this? Magic of the Jewels. The visual design of Mandela Days. Okay. Anyway, so wow, another series of on the Mandela Effect that I've never heard of. Mark System Failure says he's seen this and shared it before. That's crazy. All right, let's see. What else did we have?
Well, hello.
This is
Welcome
brand
to
new.
video. Welcome to new video topic, a topic that I love and I've wanted to talk about for a while. We'll get into all of that in just a second, but I did just want to say before I get started that they are doing some work on my balcony outside of my condo, and so it's been a big issue and that you can't hear it. But if you hear any topic, people have been talking about this phenomenon, this conspiracy for a long time now, and I've been interested in it for a long time. And I know there's tons of different Mandela effects and different things. They've probably, a lot of them have been talked about at length, and of course some of the ones I'm going to be talking about here have been talked about by lots of other people, but Mandela effects have been something that have really interested me for years now. And you guys know on this channel I love doing spooky paranormal conspiracy type stuff and just all different types of content. So I thought, why not? It's something I like, and I want to see if you guys like it too, of course, but it's something I'm interested in and something I love talking about. I love the side of the world of paranormal, creepy, conspiracy, anything. So I thought, why not just do a Mandela Effect video? I can do so many of these. I have so many Mandela effects that freak me out, that I question, that I remember being a different way than the way that they are. And so yeah, I thought I would just sit down and talk about it because it interests me, and I'm sure it interests a lot of you guys, even though it's an older topic. And some things have been debunked even, but it's still fun and it's still very interesting and kind of creepy to think about. So I'm just going to share with you a few today. But if you don't know what the Mandela Effect is, I'm going to explain that now. So the Mandela Effect is basically a phenomenon where a large mass, a large group of people remember something happening a certain way that actually happened an entirely different way, or didn't happen at all, or remember something looking or being spelled a certain way and it's actually spelled an entirely different way. Somebody saying something that was actually not ever said, but it's a large amount of people that all remember it the same way, when in reality the event or the thing never happened that way in the first place. So a lot of people accredit the Mandela Effect to us possibly, jumping universes, jumping into a parallel universe, then jumping back. Or slightly shifting universes to where certain little tiny details will change in our universe from what it once was. And that's why certain people remember it one way, but it's a different way now. So there's all kinds of theories behind what the Mandela Effect is and why such a large amount of people will remember things this way. Many people, of course, just say that it's people being forgetful, or their memories playing tricks on them, their mind playing tricks on them. But the real reason and question behind this is that it is such a large group of people that will remember it the exact same way, that how can everybody's memories be playing those kinds of tricks on them? How could everybody's memory about that be false? So that is why a lot of people question this phenomenon and say that there's something much more mysterious to it. Some people even say it's due to time travel. The reason this is called the Mandela Effect is because one of the first occurrences of this happening, where everyone remembered something a certain way, had to do with Nelson Mandela. Many people remember Nelson Mandela, actually specifically remember him passing away back in the 1980s. They remembered news coverage on this event. They remember Nelson Mandela's wife speaking about his death. Very specific instances of his death have been reported by so many different people, and people were shocked when they found out that he actually died in 2013. And my question to that is, obviously I wasn't alive back in 1980, but my question to that would obviously be, why does everyone remember this thing happening in such a specific way when it never happened at all? I mean, it's just so...
Because Starfire Tor put the lie out there, and it got popular, just like she wanted it to. People latched onto it.
Oh, it was very popular.
I'm going to show it. I've showed it before. I've done shows on it, but I'm going to show it again, where she tells you that she had polled thousands of people and asked them what's their memories of Mandela, and none of them, not one, said that they thought he had died in prison. So then she puts it out there and promotes it and gets it out there, and then she repolls people, and then people start saying, "Oh, I remember him dying in prison," just like the lie she had put out there. And I mean, this is a scientist, who's been on Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell, So I mean, I don't know, but still, she doesn't like the name Mandela Effect. She doesn't like Fiona Broom, just like us, But she's out there too with other stuff that she believes, too. So, but it just people should know that there is somebody out there that wants credit for putting that lie out there in the first place, that he had died in prison, just as a part of her scientific, what do you call it, study or whatever.
Evil always wants.
Yeah, but I mean, she was talking about the Mandela Effect before anybody was really. That's the thing. You have to give her credit for that. She wasn't calling it that, but she was talking about this.
What tipped her off?
I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe she's a freaking alphabet agent, that was trying to run a psyop at the same time as as this is going on.
Sounds like a good hole to dig on.
All right, check it out. You know how Satan likes to mock and do everything that God does, he tries to do too, All right, so it's like these people are whoever's behind this, whatever's behind it, it's the same thing. They're trying to play God, and they don't want you to think about it being a possible supernatural thing that God's involved or God's allowing to happen, but so they go out of their way to just say it's mental, or or to have you think it's a psyop, a government psyop, because they'd rather you believe that than you believe it's something truly spiritual, supernatural, whatever, a sign of the end times, etc. So,
yeah, I'm just gonna start calling it the effect. I'm gonna drop
the effect.
Yeah. We all know what we're talking about.
The supernatural effect. Something, the effect. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely do that and start limiting the amount we say, because it to me it is becoming like the G word that I don't like, and
now I was talking the effect with my coworker. I was telling about Smokey the Bear, and an old man who had been shopping said, "Hey, are you guys talking about the Mandela effect?" And he goes,
wow.
Totally remember him dying in prison. He just stopped us mid-conversation.
All right, well, check it out. I mean,
that blew my mind.
There's proof. I mean, this is all documented that Starfire Tor, way back in the day, did this thing where she polled all these people and got thousands of responses. I mean, why didn't any of those people say that they remembered him dying in prison? And then after she put that out there and promoted it and everything as real, then people started saying, "Oh, I remember him dying in prison." So I mean, it's
it just seems like the surface level of the effect caught him, and it's almost like a gatekeeping thing. So he can't talk about it with other people because it's easily debunked when it's just the very surface level ones, until you go deeper into like the Bible.
See, she blames Art Bell for slipping, for putting the information out there what she was up to before too. So she blames him and Fiona Broom, so it's like she's blaming them for letting it get out there that he, that about her putting about Mandela dying in prison, and then people that made it more popular or whatever, and people, latched onto it. I guess I don't know, but one thing we know is there are plenty of effects going on that are undebunkable. Man, I can't ever get that right, but they are not debunkable. Okay, well, let's finish this up here real quick, and then we'll move on. Hang on. There's not much left, actually. Well, yeah, there is of this, but I'm just saying of other than
so mysterious, and there's so many other things like this throughout history or even in modern day that people remember being one way, and it never happened that way. So
at least she's highly affected, we know that, so that's good. She's not trying to just hit piece it or say it's false memory.
That's what we're going to be talking about today, but it is definitely something that puzzles me a lot, especially some of these. Now, some Mandela effects, I don't even
Thanks, Mark. Good to
with
see
or
you.
remember that way, but there are so many that I'm like, wow, I remember it that way, and it claims it never was that way. So definitely when you're affected by it, I think it impacts you more and makes you a little more curious as to what could actually be going on here, you know? Some other common Mandela effects that you may have heard of if you've never heard of the Mandela effect are the Berenstain versus Berenstain Bears Mandela effect. I will go to my grave on this one because I know that it was Berenstain, like S-T-E-I-N, Berenstain, or
Good
however
for
you
you,
say
girl.
it. I vividly remember it being that way. I remember being in the hospital as a child. I had something happen to me. I have a whole video on it about my doctor's mistake that landed me in the hospital for a long time. He could have killed me anyway. I was in the hospital for a long time, and they had like a little movie library there, and one of the main things they always had was like these Berenstain Bears little DVDs of like the show that was on, the old cartoon that they had for it. They had Berenstain Bears books, and I just remember.
Okay, but now the son, Mike, who's still involved with those books and cartoons, his parents passed away, Jan and Stan Berenstain. Mike Berenstain, who's Berenstain now, says those were all knockoffs that were people just making fake Berenstain books and cartoons. So we all watched knockoffs.
We're also just loving the
And
Berenstain
had
Bears
none
from
of
my
the real
childhood.
Had zero of real, just all knockoff.
That's the best knockoffs I've ever seen, man. I'll tell you that much.
And I vividly
boy.
remember it being spelled with the S-T-E-I-N instead of the S-T-A-I-N, how it's supposedly spelled now. So that is one that really was one of the first major Mandela effects to come out as well, back when this first gained popularity, this phenomenon. And I was shook by this one because I still to this day and will always say that it was Berenstain Bears.
It was.
And there's been people that have, come out with proof on how books they've had said Berenstain instead of Berenstain. So there's all kinds of talk about this one. This was another really popular one. Some other popular ones you may have heard was the Oscar Mayer one. The spelling different there. I'll put some pictures on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. I remember it as Oscar Mayer with an E. Tell me what you remember. Another one that a lot of people
highly
remember being
affected.
spelled differently is Chick-fil-A. A lot of
Yes.
people remember it being spelled without the K on.
I used to eat Chick-fil-A every day before they added the K.
Used to work at.
And I literally did, like, for a long time, eat Chick-fil-A every day when I was paralyzed and or in the transition from being paralyzed to walking again. And my mom would take me to Chick-fil-A every day. And when at the same time that they added the K, the chicken changed for me too. The whole chicken, texture and everything, taste. And so I, to this day, don't eat their chicken. I like their fries and their new macaroni and cheese, but I can't eat their chicken. And I know that it was with a K.
You remember the year? Can you pinpoint?
It happened around. Oh gosh, let me think. But after 2012, because that was 2000. Let's see. It was like 2009 and 10 that I was eating there a lot. It was definitely K. So somewhere it was definitely 2012 and beyond. And this one flip flops for people too for some reason. I've never seen it flip flop, but I mean for some people it has like bounced back and forth, the K to the C and stuff. And Brian remembers it being lowercase a. So do I. The A, I mean lowercase a on the end. Yeah.
So I used to work.
Yeah,
2000.
Okay.
I only worked there once. And I find my old uniform.
Hang on a second, because it's a little funny with the screen share. And let me get back to where you can talk.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So I worked there in 2016, and I tried to find my old uniform and age badge, and I couldn't find any of it. It was all.
Of course
all gone.
not. Yeah.
It's gone from my stuff. So I I remember it with a C and a lowercase a. I remember the chic filla.
Yeah.
We coworkers all made fun of the name. So
So, but we're all just crazy, and
that I remember. That's what drew me into Brian Stabley's channel. He was putting videos on Rockfin, and I saw that come up, and I was like,
Wow.
"Whoa, what's this?" And I was like, "Oh, gotta look back into Mandela."
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a personal another one. Like I said, for me, because I used to eat there, and I loved their chicken. I loved it until the change. So I don't know if other people. Actually, yes, I have. I have met other people that have told me that they weren't necessarily Mandela affected, but they've told me that the chicken changed for them too. But the fact that it changed for me at the time, or before, I don't know that I noticed that it wasn't. That the K was there. I don't know. But anyway, I think it was around the same time that the K disappeared. Appeared. I mean,
1 minute till, Tommy.
Oh yeah, it'll be 4:20 somewhere out in the Atlantic, probably. Yep. Flat Atlantic. I better get one ready. So let me get this back playing so we can so I can do one. Thanks for being here, everyone. Let me do a quick shout out real quick. I can be a couple minutes late on the bucket log. Brian Stavely in the house. Brian's going on vacation, so we won't see him for a week or so, maybe in the chats or something. But he's going to take a break from live streaming unless he does some on the road or something. I don't know. Anyway, Ann Gaynar, RT, System Failure, Joe Dirt, Three Fingers, Prenta. Ann Gaynar, I think I said her, but yeah. MK Ultra U. Let's see. Melanie Moran. Angela Baby Carson. Hey, much love. What is that saying?
Brian can go on vacation, but the effect follows him.
Christian Knapp. All right, everybody else, if you want to shout out, then just say something now. Okay, Salt to Caesar. Hey, yeah, Caesar. Thank you for helping with the trolls. All right, here we go. Let's get this back on. Okay. How long have I been live? Let's see. Oh, over 2 hours, almost 2 hours and 22 minutes. 222. That follows me around so much. But all right, alrighty, here we go.
On the end of Chick, and it just being.
I personally love seeing people's reactions to, hearing and seeing their reactions to the Mandela Effect like this. So I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I do. I try and just get, new ones. This is brand new. She premiered this 4 hours ago, and it was like yesterday or last night that she, went live and did this. But I guess we're going to see more from her. So I'm going to go subscribe to her and see what else we get from her. Hannah Copus or Copus, I don't know, whatever. Okay.
CHIC. So I also remember it this way as well, like when Chick-fil-A was first popular, and I feel like we were having it a lot. Like I always remember it being without the K, and the reason I remember it this way is because I always remember questioning how to spell it. Like if I was going to spell it for some reason, I always remember questioning it, like does it have a K or does it not, or how do I spell it, because I knew that the spelling was different than the actual way you spell chick. I remember this from being a child and like thinking that. So that one really blows my mind. But yeah, so those are some really common examples of Mandela effects. And now we're going to talk about a few other ones that I've seen recently that I want your guys' input on and to see what you remember, because I remember all of these the way that they were not. So we're going to get on into that now. Okay, the first major one that I saw and was like, I have to talk about this. It has to do with the board game Monopoly. Now, I grew up playing Monopoly. I loved this game. It caused many family feuds, like this game does, the game that never ends. I don't even know if I've ever finished a full game of Monopoly. Can you even finish it?
Yes, come on.
Idea. But we played this a lot, and we had like several different versions of Monopoly as well. And anyway, the Mandela effect here is that if you remember the Monopoly man having a monocle, you remember it wrong. Apparently, he doesn't have a monocle. He's never had a monocle. And that really just, hurts my soul. It really doesn't sit right with my true being, because if there is one thing I remember about that man, it is that he had a monocle.
It had the dollar sign with the two
and
lines.
Many people say that people are misremembering this one because the peanut guy on like the Peanuts brand peanut, I don't know, he's got a monocle, whatever. No, girl, I don't even like peanuts like that. I do not like peanut butter. Never have my whole life.
I guess you didn't eat Jiffy peanut butter then either.
The Monopoly man having a monocle 150%. I never remember it any other way. Even when I look at it now, I'm like, his face looks wrong. So Tell me what you think of that. That's very interesting to me, and I've seen a lot of people on this one that truly remember the monocle. So let me know what you think about that. The next Mandela effect has to do with the brand Fruit of the Loom. Okay, this one shook me. This is up there with the monocle thing for me. So picture the Fruit of the Loom logo in your head right now. Do it, picture it, picture it, picture it. If you're picturing a cornucopia behind the fruit, you are picturing it wrong. And again, I'll put pictures on the screen. I'll try to find pictures of all of these, but just make sure you look at the screen because I'll show you apparently what we're all misremembering, because the Fruit of the Loom logo is just that. It's just fruit. It never had a cornucopia, not for a Thanksgiving special, not for a promotion they were doing, nothing. It never had a cornucopia. I refuse to believe this. I remember it having a cornucopia 100%. Fruit of the Loom, sold at Walmart. We always had stuff by their brand. We always had like t-shirts, undershirts, underwear, pants, everything, hoodies, sweatshirts by this brand. And I vividly remember, I remember the ads on TV of the people who were dressed up like the fruits. And when the logo popped up at the end for the commercials, it had the cornucopia. Girl, this one is blowing my mind. There's no way. There's no way. We had to have jumped universes. There's just no way. Like, it had the cornucopia. So, what do you remember? This one is interesting to me because when I think about it, it is logically like, no, that never happened. But then when I actually think about my childhood, I remember it being this way. So when I tell you the color chartreuse, what do you think of? If you're thinking of a magenta-ish, pinkish color, you're way off, okay? You're way off. Chartreuse is actually this greenish color. It's like a green color. I don't know, it's not pink at all. Now, I don't know why when I think of chartreuse, I think of Blue's Clues. I know they had the dog on there named Magenta, so maybe I'm making that like cross-reference, but I don't know why that reminds me of that.
Okay, well, she just goes on about that one for a few minutes, the chartreuse one, and I don't even care about that one. I don't know, probably should, but whatever.
Some female care about that. And artists.
Do what? Sorry.
Artists and lots of things are going to be affected by that one.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I know. That's true. I guess I could even ask, like I have a lot of artists in my family. They might I would know that the way it used to be. I guess I just wasn't in. I'm not an artist, so I mean I don't know colors like people that know chartreuse. I guess, but there are thousands of colors now. There's so many. Mixtures or whatever. I mean, not what I'm saying, but
how many kinds of white are
there? Do what?
How many colors of white are there? Like pearl white,
egg white, and off white, and
exactly.
yeah. Whoa, yeah. Black. There's a bunch of different blacks. Midnight black, and whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Let's see. I don't have much more to share, but let's go ahead and get through it and see where we're at from there. I need to get another page. Okay. How I figured out the Mandela Effect. Not me. This is from yesterday.
We're going to look at Forrest Gump. This is a Tom Hanks movie.
Tom Spanks.
And he has starred in multiple movies that are of interest to us. We're going to make him a movie marker straight away. First one on the list. We have one more movie marker for this movie before it even starts, and that is Sally Field. She is a supporting actor in this movie, and the letter S disappeared from the end of her name. She used to be Sally Fields. This will be our second movie marker for Forrest Gump.
My mom's favorite actress, Sally Fields. That one got her good when I told her it was Sally Field now.
Yeah.
At 2 minutes, 34 seconds in the movie, Forrest takes out a Curious George book. Yep.
Do y'all remember that? He had a Curious George book in Forrest Gump. A Mandela affected Curious George Anyone?
Gump. At 2 minutes 34 seconds in the movie, Forrest takes out a Curious George book. Yep, a Curious George book. You know the Mandela Effect, right? That will be a movie marker on our list. At 3 minutes 38 seconds, we hear Forrest say, "My mama always said life was like a box of chocolates." This is one of the most widely discussed Mandela effects there is. Naturally, it will be on our list. At 23 minutes and 8 seconds, we hear a reporter mention President Kennedy. The assassination of President Kennedy is a Mandela effect, and so this will be another Mandela movie marker.
Wow.
At 29
Talk about
minutes,
analyzing
50
the movie.
seconds in the movie, we see bottles of Coca-Cola. The dash in this logo changed, so we are going to take note. At 30
And
minutes,
7 Up.
47 seconds, we see a picture of Marilyn Monroe. She is considered by some to be a Mandela effect for a number of reasons. We will have to put this one on our list. Let's see what we have so far.
Tom Hanks, Sally Fields, Curious George, Change Line of Box of Chocolates, JFK, Coca-Cola, Marilyn Monroe.
At 31 minutes, 34 seconds in the movie, Forrest
Yep.
looks at a pamphlet and...
You can't make this up. Oh, Brian, wow. You better watch Forrest Gump again. Oh, man.
So wrong with that.
We got the freaking Uncle Sam Mandela affected hat for you now. This is unreal, dude. Oh, my goodness.
Blazoned by a truly deluxe Mandela effect. It is our very own Uncle Sam. Forrest is looking at the official depiction of Uncle Sam, minus the stripes his hat once proudly bore.
Wow.
Shall we put this on our list? You know it. At 45 minutes, 39 seconds, we see a pack of Marlboro, a Mandela morphed logo for sure. At 48 minutes, 1 second in the movie, the song California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas is heard. There is a Mandela effect I have been hearing about for some time concerning the lyrics in this song. We'll make it a movie marker on our list. At 48
Yeah, he's
minutes,
good.
28 seconds, we see a Volkswagen.
Oh,
bus.
Volkswagen, of
Remember
course.
the van?
I wonder if the hubcaps, look at the hubcaps. Oh, if we could get in on that. If those hubcaps are not Mandela affected, that'd be cool. Can you see right there? You know? But anyway, wow. Let me jump out of that and full screen, and let me get the quality up to 720. Oh man, can you see? Can you tell? Yeah, I can't. Well, let's see. We'll put
The
play.
terrorists drove in Back to the Future changing. You can pick your Volkswagen Mandela effect here. There's more than a couple.
Yeah.
At 58 minutes, 18 seconds, it is Jim Nabors as Gomer Pyle being shown on television. There's definitely a lot of discussion about Jim Nabors being a Mandela effect, so we are going to put this on our list. You know what's interesting about Jim Nabors and the fact that he's a Mandela effect? His trademark saying was Shazam.
Oh shit! Oh, it was
That's a familiar Mandela
Shazam.
effect right there, isn't it?
Wow.
59 minutes, 25 seconds, we hear Break On Through, a song by The Doors. This song was definitely changed by the Mandela effect. I really remember this one well. That is going to be another marker on our list. At 1 hour, 2 minutes, 38 seconds in the movie, we hear the song Mrs. Robinson by Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. It is from the soundtrack of the movie The Graduate.
There's your
The
boy,
song gets its
Brian.
title from one of the main characters in the movie. It seems that one of the lines in this movie changed, so we...
All right. So you know I don't believe in coincidences. How come my stepdad got sick from working around Tom Hanks, and they had to take him to the hospital on Captain Phillips? Oh man, that's bad.
We are going to make this another Mandela movie marker. At 1 hour, 3 minutes, 26 seconds, we see the Lincoln Memorial. After becoming aware of the Lincoln Memorial Mandela effect, I saw later on that it changed a second time. This is a huge Mandela effect. At 1 hour, 7 minutes, 50 seconds, we see the Capitol building. No longer topped by a flag, but now graced by a statue called Freedom that has supposedly been there a long time.
Huh?
This
I don't
is
know
a
that
Mandela
one.
effect for sure. Needless to say, this is going to be on our list. And speaking of that, how about this list? It sure is shaping up, isn't it? Let's see.
Wow. Tom Hanks, Sally Field, blah, blah, blah. JFK, Coca-Cola, Marilyn Monroe.
Where's he getting?
Uncle Sam, Marlboro, California Dreamin', Volkswagen. Oh, Volkswagen. Look how he spelled Volkswagen. Hold up. We're going back. Right there. Hold up. Volkswagen. Like, see right there? He knows it as Volkswagen with an A, Brian, instead of E. It's always been wagon with the E now. Wagon. I mean, I'm sorry, not the O is an E. Yeah, no, I was looking at the A. Wagon, the E where it's an O. We always knew it was wagon, and now it's wagon. Wow. So that guy's Mandela Effect for sure on that, because he misspelled Volkswagen. Break on through, Mrs. Robinson.
1 hour,
Lincoln
9
Memorial.
minutes, 42 seconds. We have a line in the movie that changed. Forrest
Yep.
says, "Sorry I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther party." This line is remembered as, "Sorry I ruined your Black Panther party." I have to say, it was funnier before it changed. We're adding this one to our list. At 1 hour, 10 minutes, 53 seconds, we see a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. These are a Mandela Effect, it seems. People remember them being gold.
Yes, they were. That's a personal one for me. They were not pink. They were not pink. No, I mean, who would want a pink star? Give me a break, man. They were all like gold or some kind of, definitely not pink. No.
They are pinkish red now. At 1 hour, 14 minutes, 21 seconds, we see Dick Cavett. I won't explain it here, but the Dick Cavett Mandela Effect is very interesting and involves one of his guests dying during the taping of the show. At 1 hour, 14 minutes, 52 seconds in the movie, we see John Lennon quoting the lyrics from his song Imagine. The video for that song was changed by the Mandela Effect. This was a movie marker for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and it will be for Forrest Gump as well. At 1 hour, 17 minutes, 11 seconds, we see Bob Hope on television. Bob Hope's song, Thanks for the Memories, changed to Thanks for the Memory. Another plural turned singular. It's very fitting that the song is called Thanks for the Memory, right?
Yeah. Yeah, think about that.
In any case, this will be a movie marker on our list also. At 1 hour, 19 minutes, 28 seconds, we hear the name Gilligan. There is a widely discussed Mandela Effect from Gilligan's Island. Boy, did I see enough episodes of that when I
Gilligan had a white hat.
was a kid. I didn't mention it, but there is an extra in The Truman Show who is dressed a bit like Gilligan. Anyway, this mention of Gilligan will be another one for Forrest Gump. At 1 hour, 29 minutes, 39 seconds, we hear a song by Leonard Skinner called Free Bird. Blech. You get to take your pick on this one because both the band's name and the song are a Mandela Effect. Because of where I live, I've probably heard Free Bird way more than 100 times. I've heard it in people's homes, on the TV, internet, radio, and in movies too. I never heard the song say, "And the bird you cannot change." It still says what I remember, which is, "And this bird you cannot change." But it also says, "And the bird you cannot change." Definitely a Mandela Effect. We'll
Wow.
put this on our long list for Forrest Gump.
It was this.
At
bird
1 hour,
you
31
cannot
minutes, 10 seconds,
change.
we see the moon in the sky. This one sure appears a lot in the movies we are analyzing, doesn't it? We'll put it on our list one more time. At 1 hour, 36 minutes, 48 seconds, we hear Forrest say the name Davy Crockett. This is another Mandela Effect reference in this movie. I heard about this one some time ago. At 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 1 second, Forrest opens a letter and we see the old Apple computer's rainbow logo on it. Rainbow was a movie marker for The Wizard of Oz, and it will be one here as well. At 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 7 seconds, we see the Statue of Liberty. There are numerous discrepancies between history and people's memories of this monument. This was one of the first.
Brian, did you help this guy make this? Is this your brother or cousin or something?
Mandela effects I learned about. At 1 hour, 54 minutes, 26 seconds, we have cows. I don't know if their milk was used to make laughing cow cheese, but they are cows just the same. This will be a movie marker on our list. At 1 hour, 56 minutes, 38 seconds, we see the back end of a Ford truck. Ford's logo was changed by the Mandela Effect.
Yep.
So this is another one on our list. At 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 14 seconds, we see Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street on TV. Sesame Street's theme song has been debated as a Mandela Effect, and there is one for the name of Big Bird's best friend. I remember it as Snuffleupagus. That's not his name now.
Right.
This will be a movie marker.
Wow.
We've reached the end of Forrest Gump. Let's look at the entire list of Mandela movie markers we found in this movie.
Eugene Green. His name is Eugene Green. He's got 66 subscribers.
What's Snuffleupagus' name now?
Something similar, but not. I don't know. I can't remember. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
Brian probably knows. Man, he's not
Look
done.
At this list of Mandela effects.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
There are so many here that people have puzzled over. This is a movie we are definitely going to consider and analyze. Because
Long
of this list
movie.
of Mandela movie markers we found in it, we can see that this movie is an important one. I never watched this movie.
Yeah,
back
Brian
in the day,
commented.
only recently as part of my research. As I combed through it, compiling this list of markers we have, I was worried that I would be unsure about the moral of the story, but that concern was for nothing. The scene where Forrest visits Jenny's grave makes it very clear.
Jenny.
The scene is
Jenny
a prime
was a funk
example of what
singer.
a lot of these movies have. A scene where the movie's main moral is spelled out for the viewer. They have the musical, dramatic musical cue and everything. I already realized halfway through the movie that the moral was going to be about our lives. Let's read what a grieving Forrest said to Jenny. Jenny, I don't know if Mama was right or if it's Lieutenant Dan. I don't know if we each have a destiny or if we're all just floating around accidental like on a breeze, but I think maybe it's both. Maybe both is happening at the same time. That's a pretty clear message, and it answers a question that should be stirred in our minds by the bigger picture we are now discovering. Despite all that, there is another feature of this movie we are going to focus on. Most Hollywood movies tell fictional stories, and the same is true for Forrest Gump. Fictional movies give their own fictional account of the past, but parts of Forrest Gump are different in this regard. This movie uses actual history. The makers of this movie used real footage of
Look
John
at
F. Kennedy.
I love how they have Tom like in shift, like he's shifting. Oh, that's funny. Shape shifting.
Richard Nixon, but they turned it into fake history by inserting Tom Hanks into it. Historical film footage is often used in documentaries to prove facts. This is not the case in Forrest Gump, even though it contains historical footage.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks wasn't really there for those moments in history. Through the use of technology, our history was given an element of fakeness. That is the part of Forrest Gump we're going to put on our table. Let's add, history is fake to the table. How are you doing so far? Do you see how this all fits together? We have to take in one more movie. I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Oh, there's other movies. Oh man. You know what I'm doing later. I didn't know he had more of these. Oh yeah, number 8. So wow. I just came across this one. And I was like, cool. I didn't really think about there being, yeah, I should have read better. We will continue to discover the Mandela message movies and their connections to the Mandela effect and each other. Wow. I've written 3 books and you can read, or 3 books you can read, or you can wait for videos to be made.
Hey, do you have a link?
Website is tellpeoplew.com, and I'll put the link to this in the chat so everybody can watch the other episodes. That's pretty cool. I mean, we need people that will do this kind of stuff here. You know, I mean, he's obviously got more time than I do to really sit down and you know, catch all that. I mean, that's a lot to I mean, but that's how good his eye is, I guess, for this stuff. I don't know, you know, but yeah, wow. I see somebody in my chat there. Saw this 8 hours ago. Jeff Santabar, he was in here earlier. He saw that, so and left a message. Let's see what Eugene said. Thank you. There's much more to come. Well, Brian, you need to interview this guy. I would get a hold of him, and he's a real good host or pronouncer, you know, talker too. So a narrator, whatever. So I don't know where he came from, but I mean, that's good stuff. He's calling it "How I Figured Out the Mandela Effect." So is he already know something we don't from all his studies here into it? His analyzing it. How I figured out the Mandela number 7. How I figured out number 6, 5, 4. You know, let's see. The Mandela Effect has something to say. All right, let's look at this real quick.
This is a real B&H customer story.
I just noticed the volume was low again. What the heck? All right, this should be louder this time for you guys.
Today I'm interviewing Eugene Green, author of an upcoming series of books about the Mandela Effect. How do you
This
know
is
the
him.
Mandela Effect is communication?
Whoa. Now, which alphabet agency do you think he works for? I'm just kidding. But I mean, you know, you'd probably say that about me if I looked like that. But all right, well, let's just give him. You know, he's done okay so far. Let's see what he has to say.
One of the things that makes it possible to see that the Mandela Effect is communication is that when you are discovering the meanings of various different Mandela effects, you will see the same message repeated. So it's like a puzzle.
I've said that.
The picture starts to emerge and pieces start to fit together.
Huh.
It's easier to see. You're looking at it in the right way. You're putting the pieces where they belong.
How do you know you're right?
Well, I guess at some point you just know. When you're dealing with something that's initially unknown, you won't know that you're looking at it in the right way. It's when discoveries are made and those discoveries fit together in a bigger picture that you did not expect comes into view.
I think this is all new, Brian.
You can tell. I mean, there is a lot more to the Mandela Effect than anyone knows right now. I can tell by
Well,
seeing
who knows, Brian? I'm not saying it's
said
golden
online
either.
kind of things they say about it and the things they talk about.
Doesn't smell right.
Didn't I say he might be an agent of some kind? But this is interesting. I want to see, you know, what I mean, in his work, it's analyzing the stuff. And, you know, hold on now. What about the fact that someone or something is communicating? You've said that yourself, Brian. Maybe the creator is communicating to us through these changes. So we can't say this guy's a nutcase yet.
This topic, this phenomenon, is going to mean
That's what we're doing. We're checking out his
a
channel
lot
right
to
now.
us all for a long time to come.
This is the first video I think he made, one of them.
And that to me is the biggest indication that I'm looking at it in the right way, because the way I've been looking at it has ended up revealing more than I ever expected it to become.
We've only seen one of his videos. There's several of them, you know, from what he's done. So, who knows?
Who or what is communicating?
Here we go.
Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it?
Ha ha ha. Drinks rum, it said.
Intelligence, I can tell you that. this point.
It's intelligence. No shit.
And not just an intelligence that is so far beyond what any of us could possibly imagine or know. We have no frame of reference for this intelligence that is reaching out to us. Believe me.
If he starts saying it's Martians, then we're done here. I have a cousin on Mars.
Why is this intelligence communicating only with you?
He's not. He's communicating with us all. Yeah. Whatever it is.
In fact, the things that it
Mr. Anderson
is disclosing and revealing are the sort of thing that are of great importance to all of humankind.
He follows Jacobian, Sinbad just said.
And it's my honor to be able to bring that to the conversation, to the research that is being done, and it's definitely for everyone.
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, "What the f is in your mug?" And
So, wow. That's only got, it's got 400 views. Let's see. We'll go back to his thing, all his videos. That's it. Look, that's all he's got. That we just watched the first one that I guess he's got on there. He's only got 79 subscribers. Of course, I'll subscribe to him just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He's gonna get subscribers today.
Let's see what it says here. Welcome to the How I Figured Out the Mandela Effect. Visit our website. All right, let's visit the website. Let's go there. Let's see what we got. Here it is. Welcome. If you want to learn more about learn about the Mandela Effect, you're in the right place. Let me get it bigger here. All right. I think y'all can read that. What is the Mandela Effect? An increasing number of people are noticing something strange happening in our world. They are seeing specific things that are now different than the way they remember it. And they are finding that many others share their memory of the way things once were. Lacking a way to explain how such changes could have happened, it is being called the Mandela Effect, unfortunately. There is a huge amount of confusion surrounding this phenomenon, but it doesn't have to be that way. While the Mandela Effect is very complex and subtle, I promise you it does make sense. That's right. The Mandela Effect does make sense. It is happening for a reason, and it can be understood. Bringing you to that understanding is my main goal. The effect is communication. It is important for us to know what it is saying. There's a particular sequence to everything I'm going to share with you, and it reflects the order in which I experienced and discovered the different aspects of the Mandela Effect myself. I call it the 5 levels of learning. Research and belief, number 1. This is where it all starts. It is the process of going from completely unaware to believing that the Mandela Effect is real and being knowledgeable of many of the changes. Residue has a special meaning in the Mandela Effect community. When something has been changed by the Mandela Effect, there can still be remnants of the way things used to be. We call this residue, a residual, as in residual. It is something left over. Theory. People have many different theories about what is causing the effect, and some of them are way, way out there. When I settled on a theory and began looking at this phenomenon through the right prism, it began making a lot more sense. Number 4, messages and meanings. The Mandela effect is a happening for a reason, and it's telling us something. This is what the effect is all about. It exists to tell us something. Philosophical. I can't say it right now. My mouth is dry. The Mandela effect is happening. You understand what the effect is revealing. When you understand it, it will change the way you look at everything in life, from the birds and the bees to the rocks and the trees. These 5 levels of learning are a broad overview of what I have to share with you, and there is a page on this website devoted to each level. Visit his Eugene Green on YouTube. Did you know that the Mandela effect follows certain patterns? Many people are aware of this. Disproportional amount of number of Tom Hanks movies feature a Mandela effects, and the letter S just keeps disappearing from names like Hillshire Farms, Depends, Tinker Toys. These are patterns, and patterns are the result of organized intelligence thought. As I said before, the effect is communication, and it is something to say. It has something to say. Let me give you an example. Remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Of course you do, but did you know that this show's theme song was changed by the Mandela effect? Oh, and speaking of patterns, Tom Hanks is the new star. Yeah, we know that of the new one that's called isn't it called This Neighborhood or whatever? Anyway, in This Neighborhood. Beautiful day. Okay, or whatever. Yeah, but yeah. All right. Wasn't I just saying something about Tom Hanks movies having Mandela effects in them? Anyway, have a listen to the theme song. We all know the theme song. I'm not going to play that. I'll just get in trouble. We know that it changed from the neighborhood to This Neighborhood. Okay, what could this mean though, from changing from the to this? Well, having the Mandela effect take the letter T out of the word or the name is a known pattern. Is a known pattern. Okay, taking the T out of a word or name is a known pattern. Examples of this are Rod Sterling. Yep, Brian, there you go. Sterling, Charles Schultz, Skechers without the T. What happens when we apply this pattern to the word that is added to the show's theme song? Let's take the T out and see. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood becomes it's a beautiful day in his neighborhood. Holy crap. I just got truth bumps. Holy crap. Ooh. Oh, boy. Oh. I just had a moment. Hold on. Holy moly. Okay. I know exactly what he's getting to. At least I know what just hit me. The Antichrist. It's leading toward. See, everything is going from plural to singular, as in the towers to one, to all this is going to the one world order, the one leader. I'm getting truth bumps like crazy right now, and just all kinds of sensations. And I'm a little blown away at the moment, right this second. But I mean, it's not like I didn't know that the Antichrist is coming, but I can see what's going on here. All right, can you read it? If I go a little bigger, you can just give me a second to.
Sure.
All right, so where were we? Right here. What? All right, right there. See right. His neighborhood.
What could this mean? Well, having Mandela
we read that. We read that. Yeah.
His neighborhood.
Yeah.
Who is he? Why? The power behind the Mandela. That's why the Mandela turned the Volvo into a male symbol. If you know that the Mandela Effect really is changing, that would be a for humans to change. It should be easy to see that this is his neighborhood. All right.
That's it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow. I'm still collecting myself here. Sorry about that.
You're all right. He doesn't
really
like a harbinger.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the echo. Hold on. When you talk for some reason, there's an echo. Let me get out the screen share off there.
Sorry about
Ooh,
that.
that was intense, man. That what happened there.
I'm trying to speak in spurts.
Go ahead and say what you were gonna say.
Oh yeah, he could be working for the other side. Definitely bringing forth. I don't know, but that seems like that's what they were talking about with his neighborhood. I don't know.
Man. I'll tell you, man, that was there's something to that.
He definitely has a database. Okay, he's got a spreadsheet of.
Hold on. Is there still an echo right now, guys? Y'all are saying?
I think that was before.
Did you change anything on your end? Because I didn't change anything on mine. Let me know if we still got an echo, guys, before we go on any farther. Let me make sure I'm not too loud. I'm pull my volume back. Are we okay 5x5 or what's going on?
Mic check.
Please, I rebuke any attack against the show.
It's only screen sharing with the echo,
Okay.
so we're out of screen.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew it was doing that a little bit, but I guess it got worse. I don't know. All right. So, yeah, man, that's some wild stuff there. This dude's on to something. I'm just, man.
He's got a spreadsheet. He's got a whole he knows the Mandela effects, like all of them probably, and
he knows more than we did. There was several of them I didn't know. I mean, what? I mean,
and that's what I kind of question, because Brian is our collection of knowledge for this. Brian is the data.
You heard me say in the beginning of it, did Brian help this guy, or was it him? Yeah, but I mean, good grief, this is just.
Has he been lurking this whole time, just writing everything down, and now he's claiming it as his own? Is this his move?
No, this guy. I mean, this guy's. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna give him any credit if it's. I don't know, but I know what I had. What happened during that. And I definitely think that's where he's going. I thought there was going to be more to read there, but the Holy Spirit told me that exactly what's going on. At that moment that it's all going singular, as into all the way to the one world order, the Antichrist ruling, over everybody and enslaving everybody that doesn't,
So the Mandela effect is smoothing out this singularity in a way.
It's just a part of it, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert on it. He is neither, so I don't know. But I'm telling you that I was meant to see that right then and get what I got, from it, because that just. Man, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, almost physically and spiritually. I was like, whoa, he's on to something. I don't know what his source is, how in the hell, whatever. But there's something. I promise you, there's something to what he's doing, because we've all said this from time to time. We, in the beginning, I was taking notes like crazy, trying to figure out what we had, similar, and the near-death experiences and different things. But I mean, it's the trauma and PTSD and stuff. A lot of us, but this is more than that. He's saying this communication. And Brian has said that too. Others have said that it's I've said it's a sign, so that's the same as communication, a sign. It's this is amazing. I think we were all of us here today were meant to see this and at least look into it. And I know that I have a relationship with the creator, and I know that he points me in the right direction like this, and so I'm going to certainly go into research mode and start looking into it. I don't know if I'm smart enough to analyze and do it all, and figure out what I'm not a decoder really, but who knows. But I mean, I know that it's all for a reason, and it's bigger than I think we even thought. I don't know. Some of us, a lot of people.
I got to go back
but
and look at that spreadsheet and all those movies he had and everything he had going. And
yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and play all his content, but I really think that people should maybe look into that side of it of what is the Mandela effect telling us? What is it trying to tell us? And I ultimately go back to, at the very least, it is a sign of the times that anything goes, or even supernatural things that are supposed to happen are happening. So
what throws me off is the first one he played was him in this doing this interview, okay, and just the interview alone is like, I'm an important person, or I'm somebody worth interviewing, but it's before he's even done anything or anything's really come out. So it almost seems deceptive in a way. Like, this is the way to bring yourself to the forefront, to make yourself a voice for this, is by making yourself already seem important. And it seems like he's got the tactic.
Yeah, I guess by saying that he's got it figured out, but I mean, we haven't seen all of his work yet. I might, after seeing all of his work and taking it to the man upstairs and doing my own research, who knows? I might come to the same conclusion as him, but I'm not going to let it go to my head and be, pay me and make me famous now that I figured out the Mandela effect. No, but I mean, a lot of us know that it is supernatural, and for one reason or another, we were meant to see this and probably spread it and help other people see, that we're at the end of the church age, and we're in that transitional period of going into another age. And I don't know what that age is going to, necessarily bring, but it's worth looking into and being ready for whatever it, has for us, in store for us. So I'm pretty shocked, amazed by somebody, at least taking the initiative to putting it to saying, here's what I've found, and here's what ultimately it led me to believe, because that's the kind of stuff we can all do for ourselves. We don't have to just watch YouTube videos, folks, and come to conclusion. You can have a relationship with the creator and be led to things supernaturally, if you want to say, or whatever. But and you can get answers to a lot of things, and I'm just glad to be a part of this community and a part of those that are looking for the answers to this. We're not here just to bring you residue every day and say, look at this cool thing here, whatever, and pat ourselves on the back for getting, evidence, that supports our theories or whatever. We should be past all that by now. It should be a household name, and people should be deciding for themselves through their own research, not just listening to anybody, but coming to a conclusion on their own through proper means, and like I said, seeking answers through the creator too will help you.
Talk about an interesting dinner conversation. Every household should be talking about this, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and they shouldn't be saying, well, oh, that's just a bunch of violent, crazy nuts, You know
Oh.
why? See, that's why. See, we don't have the money to put this marketing scheme, this this big propaganda program out there in people's minds like they're doing to paint it as nuts and crazy and misremembering and it's from smoking weed, the one thing that protects you from so much of this crap in the world anyway, so they demonize and weed at the same time. I mean, it's on and on and on and on. But if we had the money, I'm not saying we need to do it, but I'm just saying if we had the money to match the propaganda that they're putting out, then I guarantee you people would believe us over their bullshit that they keep putting out about the Mandela effect, and why and what it is or could be, and that's what I'm sick of, man, is seeing the hit piece after hit piece after hit piece and the just copy and paste bull crap over and over, and nobody really talking about what it is and what it could be, and why it's important and what, so there's more to be said about all this than what's being said from these people that want to paint us as nuts. Woo! Oh man, I'm fired up. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I had no idea this was gonna all come out the day like this. It's I mean, it's been funny and cool and shocking for me, because like a lot of times I do watch the videos enough to find out what's going on, but there's times where y'all are watching it right with me. I'll just take the chance, and this is one of those times that this was certainly worth watching, I think, and I'm not saying the guy's right about anything. I'm just saying that I like to see that type of stuff. And yeah, he doesn't come off right. So somebody needs to tell him that coming across as like an alphabet agent that knows, I mean, look, did it work for Starfire Tor? I'm a scientist and I'm the first one to talk about the Mandela Effect. Well, believe me, I mean, come on. But, this thing is huge. And it is here for a reason. And NPCs don't give a crap, okay? So most of the world is not going to care. But there are still millions of people, I promise you, that are coming around to this and would have a couple years ago if CV hadn't came around. But we're getting there now. We are getting to the point where it is definitely becoming a household dinner, conversation piece, and I love that. But I think it's wrong that we don't have an equal say and that they're getting to us through movies and series and all these stupid articles, and they're trying to get in the minds of people that are on the fence or just people that are reachable, non-NPCs, because like I said, NPCs aren't going to care anyway, even if you show they're affected, but the people that are reachable that I think we're meant to connect with, are, that's what it's all about, folks. And that's why I say, please get out there and have these conversations with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your, coworkers, and on, and we'll come out on the right side. Just don't paint us as crazy and violent like the lamestream media does in Hollywood. Go ahead and talk for a second while I'm looking at something, please.
Yeah, it's definitely
Right.
their playbook. I mean, they did it with marijuana. I mean, with the reefer madness stuff, and crazy, violent, uncontrollable. I mean, it's the same playbook. It's just with a different thing. It's like, oh, well, now if you believe in a effect, then suddenly you have a tendency. This equals this, and it doesn't. It's like you're going to be from all walks of life talking about the Mandela effect, and and your understanding of it, and it's definitely to different degrees with different people, and a few things you're gonna resonate with, and you may start to look deeper, but if you just brush it off altogether, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your own intuition and instincts and everything about our reason for being here a disservice. It's definitely important to to look into it, or at least don't shy away from talking about it. I mean, if it comes up, or don't shut it down like it's instantly something negative or of crazy thought. We're institutionalizing somebody just for even going down the rabbit hole of trying to understand what is our reality and how is it shifting. I mean, but it's
Right.
also, we're afraid. You know, a lot of people are afraid to even look into changes and things like that, because the media and everything has driven them in such a fear state. They anything else on top of everything else is just too much. It's because they're already full of fear.
Yeah, propaganda. All I see is propaganda. But funny, all I need is propaganda. You know.
Seeing us afraid is good, and man, the fear goes away with that tap into the creator. Definitely. That's where's God when you're afraid? Well, he's taking your fear away. That's always.
Yeah, let me give a shout out to the chat real quick. We got Bit of Venom, Dean HD. Hey, both of y'all. Chow Fun, welcome. Let's see, Call for Zero and Quantum. I think that was. Let's see, RT, Brian Stavely. I think I said Sinsman or not, but let's see, Ann Gaynar, Blue Pac-Man 13. Good to see you. Let's make sure I think you have a wrench in here, don't you, Blue Pac-Man? Let's see. Let's make sure. No, we don't. No, we don't have. Okay, now you do have a wrench. Sorry there. Thought you'd been in before, maybe, and I'd given you one. But all right, let's see. We have Heather Phillips. You made some good points, Heather. I haven't ignored what you've said. You've definitely made some good points. Jennifer Kingsling, hey, good to see you. I didn't see you come in, but hello, much love. A lot of Russian bots in the chat today too. All right, Voynich, was that Voynich? Hold up. Yeah,
the best
Voynich.
Russian
Wow.
bot I've seen so far was Helmet Karen NPC. That was in Miss Mays and Buddha's chat. You gotta give them props. That one was funny.
Quan Tom says, "You can't handle the truth." Sounds weak to him now.
I love that name, Quan Tom.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so I've got something else we can watch real quick. Like I said, I love to see people talk about the Mandela Effect, as long as they're not, retarded. I'm sorry, I didn't say that, but
I still use that sometimes.
Oh dear.
I grew up.
I know it's not.
Like that word.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Here we go.
Have you ever watched a movie and recall to have seen a scene in a specific way, but now it's totally different? Or hearing the news about a celebrity passing away, but you remember to have heard months ago, or even years before, that the celebrity had died? Guess what? You might not be the only one remembering those events in that way, but hundreds or even thousands more might remember that similar news or movie scene. And that is how the theory of the Mandela Effect became one of the most intriguing, unexplainable theories yet.
It's not a globe.
To begin with, what is the Mandela Effect? According to Headline, this is a theory that involves a large group of people to remember an event or situation differently than how it happened. This has brought multiple opinions, and conspiracy theories suggest that this might be proof of an alternate universe.
Flat.
Where doctors and psychologists use this as an example of false memory or collective misremembering. Why this name? This name dates back to 2010, when numerous people on the internet started to misremember that Nelson Mandela died in prison back in the 80s, and many claimed to watch his funeral live on TV. However, the reality was far from that. He was freed from prison in 1990, was the president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999, and passed away later on, 2013. This stirred up the internet community, and since then, this theory has been attributed as the Mandela Effect. There are multiple Facebook groups, Twitter threads, and a designated subreddit that was created in 2013, so all the conspiracy enthusiasts can share their possible theories and the community to be able to ask others if they remember certain events, cartoons, films, or brands in a certain way.
She should do this in
Is
Spanish.
still available and you can join anytime. There are plentiful examples you can find in the web. Some of them have a logical explanation, but for others, as of today, don't have a logical
Puzzle.
clarification. Among them, there are these examples found on the Mandela Effect website, written by paranormal consultant Fiona
Boo.
Broom. One of the
No.
most famous examples will be Snow White's famous phrase, mirror, mirror on the wall. However, this is not true. It has always been magic mirror on the wall. This has created a lot of confusion among the internet community, claiming that this is one of the biggest examples of the Mandela Effect. Another famous example is the Monopoly Man. Plenty of people has claimed that the Monopoly guy has a monocle on his face. However, this has never been true as well. He has never worn a monocle. However, for this one, there's a more
Look at the
logical
dollar
explanation.
signs.
The
It
logo
had
from
two
the
lines.
American snack food brand Planters that showcases a peanut with a hat similar to the
Always
Monopoly
got to
Man,
be the
and it has a
planners,
monocle on
bullcrap.
it. So people might confuse those two logos. Another popular Mandela Effect
Flag.
example will be the JFK assassination. Thousands of people have claimed that the limousine where the President John Kennedy and his wife Jackie Kennedy were traveling during the time of his assassination had 4 seats. However, this is not true. The limousine carried 6
4.
seats, and at the time, Texas Governor John Connally and the First Lady of Texas Nellie Connally were traveling in the limousine as well. The logical explanation to this is that photographs and films were taken from different angles. Also, people tend to relationate the car, a convertible, to having 4 seats. However, in this case was way different. At last, another example is the ending of the song We Are the Champions by Queen. Many have recalled that the song ends with the phrase We are the champions of the world. However, it only ends on We are the champions and nothing else. Even though this inexplicable phenomenon has multiple theories from scientists such as Professor Stephen Hawking, claiming that there is a possibility of parallel universes and the relation it has with quantum of physics, until there is no more concise proof to explain the Mandela Effect, the most coherent theories as of today are given by psychologists about how the mind can trick you into having false memories. In the article The Mandela Effect and How Your Mind is Playing Tricks on You, written by both authors Neil Dagnall and Ken Drinkwater, both specialists in cognitive and parapsychology from Manchester Metropolitan University, they explain what is collective misremembering, how the Mandela Effect is related to this, and how this theory exists because the internet can be to spread misinformation, causing this a preoccupation to experts on how this raises fake news and disinformation among the web. What about you? Do you believe the Mandela Effect is real? Do you side up with the conspiracy theories about a parallel universe? Or do you believe the logical explanation of the psychologist experts about this? Have you ever experienced anything that may cause you to think that there is a parallel universe?
No, but they want you to think that because they don't want you to think about the interdimensional spiritual side of this world. Imagine that. All right, I think that's all. Well, here's this little bit here. This is from 2 days ago, and I found it earlier. Talking about brands right there. Here, I'll just do the F3 thing, and it'll tell me where it's at. Yep, right there. Okay, so it says, to be sure, added sugar is far less likely to be a problem with the almond butter you bought at a local food store than it is with the, say, jar of Jiffy you bought, you scored at Walmart. Jiffy peanut butter. Imagine that. All right, again, so I'll put the link to this guy's website in the thing there that tell all people or whatever it was, Eugene Green. here is that. And again, I'll put his YouTube channel in there for you too. And when I get off of here, I'm going to check out the rest of his videos and see what other movies he's analyzed. Let's see. Yeah, interesting. So let's, that's such a that's like maybe a made up name even, I mean, I'm going to Google it, but I don't know. Look, Eugene Green, a French filmmaker. That's funny. But, yeah, there's probably a lot of Eugene Greens, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be for him. But, yeah. Huh. Interesting, Eugene Green. All right, I think, like I said, I think that's everything I was supposed to show. So let me just get the screen share off. And what are we on? 3 hours and 23 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I'll probably wrap this up soon because, don't need to go forever. But what do you think overall of this stuff, man? It's a lot of stuff we took in today on the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, I think we're getting closer.
Yeah, I think that too. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're moving in the right direction. I think we're analyzing, we're taking it step by step, and we're just trying to understand it. And, I think we've got a couple places to look.
I'd like to see if he's open for an interview with Brian or something. If Brian's up to it, just to see if he's real. I mean, like if he's
real is
yeah, what but man, yeah, I was pretty fascinated. I know when I have a spiritual moment, like I did, I know I had, the Holy Spirit came over me. So, there's something there, I can't dismiss it, and some of it made sense. So, who knows what he's ultimately going to find, or we're going to find, together, all of us. But, yeah, man, this has been pretty cool. I do want to probably wrap this up soon so that I can get it on Odyssey and eventually on Rockfin too, and hopefully people will check it all out and make their own conclusions and dig deeper, because see, like I said, don't just watch videos, folks. At least try to, if you're not a researcher, I mean, obviously, I've been one for almost 30 years and I can research anything. And I have researched many things, but way before this stuff. But so just it's not rocket science to be a researcher. You just have to have patience and determination and common sense and just maybe even it would help to have a little spiritual guidance maybe. But anyway. I appreciate everyone that's come in during this program. If you got anything good from it, I'm glad for that. And I'm going to be trying to step up my show more and more. That's all I can tell you is, one way or another, I'm going to try to step it up and get out there and get to talking to more people about the Mandela Effect and film that, and maybe do, like I said, the booth at the flea market. And, maybe I'll hook up with somebody that, because I love the flat earth thing too. I mean, we could have a dual booth where it's flat earth and Mandela Effect, or whatever. So people could do that. I've already, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying your reality is shifting, but it's flat too.
Yeah. Right. Oh dear,
that's a great idea.
I think they're going to say, "Wasn't that a Mandela effect that the Earth is flat all of a sudden?" But no, everyone in the world knew that the Earth was flat until the globe lives began, and I've done my research in that too, folks. Where I know for a fact that there was many God believing, Bible believing men that literally threw their Bibles over the ship's side when they decided to believe the globe lies, and because the Bible alludes to a flat and stationary Earth, and if they they denounced the Bible and what it said, and began to believe the globe lies. So that sucks, So I guess you can say that flat Earth was one of the, or the globe Earth was one of the first big propaganda things that they put out there, propaganda programming that they put out there, and has stuck all this time. It was successful for them for the most part, and they shove the globe down your throat every single day. Global this, globe, and show you a globe model, and just they'll never stop that. They want people to be deceived on every level they can be, I guess. But all right, well, any final thoughts from you, man? I'm probably going to play a song and then get out of here, but I appreciate you joining me and your opinions and wisdom and all that good stuff, man. You can put your chat. You can put your link in the chat if you want to. And
I don't have anything up. First things will be probably going up this week. I'm just building the channel right now, so I'm just working towards my first episode.
We've all been there. We've all been there building a channel up. For me, I've been on this channel here for 12 years, but it's taken 12 years to even get to where it should be, I guess I should say, but I mean, it should be bigger, but I don't care, about that. I think quality over quantity, anyway, but yeah, man, go ahead and finish what you're saying about your.
Oh, thank you guys, and I just really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to speak and have a platform, and I love you guys. This is my tribe, so let's just keep staying strong together and working towards truth, and we'll fight this. We're gonna win too. That's
Yep.
all the confidence.
Keep representing the Mandela Effect. How we do around here, and not that we're some crazy violent, nuts people. That's so we have to push back.
We're gonna save some people one soul at a time. That's just the process.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, MK Ultra, and you can hang around while I play a song or not, whatever. But I appreciate everybody. I'm gonna play who knows, something again. I gotta be careful because I'm on YouTube. So I'm gonna play. Yeah, they don't like it when I play this, but it'll be at the end. So if they make me take it off or whatever, then that's fine. But the last time I played COVID's from Christian App, they didn't like it, but we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there and play it. All right, anyway, and like I said, if it's at the end, look, they give you a chance. They give you the chance to trim it out now on YouTube. So I did that the other day. I had a 3-4 hour show, and they hit me with a copyright thing and said, "We're gonna block your thing unless you trim out, this Oprah Winfrey segment." So I let them trim out like 2 minutes of my 3.5 hour show, just so that it wouldn't be blocked and people could see the rest of the Mandela Effect content. So sometimes you gotta do that with YouTube if they give you the opportunity, so you don't lose your show on it. But all right, anyway, here we go. Let's see. COVID's a trap.
The fear inside their brains, and each day they're sheltered in place. It's another hoax. How do rulers get so bold, disrupting all our lives to increase their control? But the truthers, we're gonna stand up and fight, 'cause we know it, oh it, COVID's a lie. We know it, COVID's a lie. Look at all the sheep with their masks and in the days, walking right off the cliff. We're gonna go all separate ways. They'll do just what they're told, stay locked down in their place until their science saves the day. A needle from their master bill case. But with truthers, we're gonna stand up and fight, 'cause we know it, oh it, COVID's a lie. 'Cause we know it, oh it, COVID's a lie. Pandemic streets with the camera in our hands, see empty hospitals and things we just can't understand. We look into the facts and the stories we're being told. We ain't taking no shots or letting our minds be controlled. 'Cause the truthers, we're gonna stand up and fight, 'cause we know it, oh it, COVID's a lie. We know it, COVID's a lie. Know it, COVID's a lie. Know it, COVID's a lie. COVID's a lie, yeah. Know it, yeah, COVID's a lie. COVID's a lie.
Oh man. Thank you, everyone. Wow. Good stuff. And I can't wait to get on with decoding the effect. Yeah. So thanks again, MK Ultra, for did you send me something in the chat there? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you know,
Yeah, I got you. I'll keep I'll keep that. Yeah, and everybody go and subscribe to MK Ultra. Did you put your link in the chat? You can.
yes, it is. Yeah, I can throw it in.
All right. Yeah, we will stay on the right side of this thing. We'll keep in research mode. We'll keep trying to figure out what's going on, and in the meantime, bringing you the residue proof that there is an alternate version of what's going on here today with some of these things. Thank you so much, everyone. Tommy here, Tommy out. Thank you. Thank you.